Alright, so a recap of last session. As the last session began, you continued your exploration of the Temple of Eloch in search of Dawn Mistwalker's father Ferric and the mask that they had come to the temple to find. The temple continued to offer up dangers and challenges. Shortly after working your way past a locked door, your party battled the largest group of goblins you had encountered so far, and despite taking some nasty damage, you managed to pull together and defeat them. While searching the area the goblins had been inhabiting, you discovered two young boys that the goblins had beaten and starved into submission. Knowing that there was still many dangers ahead, the decision was made to leave them food and clothing and to come back for them as soon as possible. The next encounter the temple offered up was a turning point in the search. After battling two goblins, Ferric was found in their lair badly beaten, but alive. At urging from both Dawn and Ferric, the decision was made to rest the night in the hobgoblin's former lair before continuing the search for the mask. During the night, Nightingale discussed the mask with Ferric and learned that it was called the Mask of the Nightbringers. Securing the mask would allow Dawn and Ferric admission into an adventurers guild called the Wanderers, a wish that Ferric's deceased wife, Dawn's mother, had made on her deathbed. She had always wanted to adventure about the world, but for one reason or another had never made the leap. She did not want Dawn and Ferric to die with the same regret. Early the next morning, the five of you ventured out to find the mask. The search did not take long, as you quickly discovered another lair close to where a goblinoid creature and a warg were somehow waiting for you. The goblinoid creature was wearing the mask that you were searching for. It warned you of the return of the Nightbringers just before a battle erupted. A battle that once again saw you taking a lot of damage, but coming out victorious. With the mask recovered, you returned to collect the children with plans to depart the temple for Whalespell at once. After a short search, the children were discovered outside the temple, and you hit the trail for Whalespell. The next 2 days of travel to Whalespell were uneventful. Upon arrival, Dawn and Ferric invited you to stay with them in their small apartment. After enjoying a much-needed night of ales and laughs, you slept through the first night in a long time where you did not require a watch. The next morning, the group's agreement, Dawn took the children to Gath's temple in Whalespell called the Temple of the Golden Sun, along with a sizable donation so that the clerics there could look after them. The rest of you headed to Wind Kept Citadel to speak with the Vanguard, a meeting that Douglan hoped would bring answers to his many questions about the rifts and the beings that had been traveling through them. Douglan hoped this information would help him to find a way to get to his daughter Maggie. At Wind Kept Citadel, the group was brought before Seer Yennall. The seer spoke with Douglan about the events of the night that Anton returned. It soon became clear to Douglan's memories of the night had been altered. It appeared that Maggie and a group of the beings Douglan learned were called the Gith had come back with Anton. They took up defensive positions as Maggie walked Anton towards the house. A second group of Gith emerged through a second rift, and a battle broke out between the two groups. Maggie and her companions, along with Douglan's assistants, were victorious. Just as the battle was ending, Douglan was struck by an energy blast that dropped him to the ground. Maggie spoke to her father, stating that they still needed her help and that she would return when she was done. The revelation of the true events of the day created more questions than answers. The seer assured Douglan that if he kept searching for answers, that they would find him. With that, the group was escorted from the seer's chamber. As today's session begins, it is the 19th day of the third trigon of Gath's influence at approximately 9 a.m. You are standing just outside of Wind Kept Citadel, having just departed from your visit with Seer Yennall. It is late morning on a brisk but sunny day in Whalespell. The city is busy with activity as your group gathers together to decide what is next. All right, there we are.
Well, Douglan, that must have been an eye-opener hearing your memories were changed.
Douglan is still shaken by it. Like, he's just, like, keeps shaking his head. Maggie? That was Maggie? He keeps kind of just shaking his head, talking. We're outside of the temple, right?
Yeah.
You guys are
Citadel,
standing just outside of the Citadel now. You know, literally, maybe 10 feet away from the entrance you went through.
Got it. If we determined, like, the Temple of the Golden Sun, do we know? I know there's 3 major pantheons there, but is there a denomination that has?
Yeah, that's a temple to Gath.
Okay, so he's going to kind of look up at Nightingale and Corvus and say, forgive me, lads, but you mind if I take a moment at the temple? I feel the need. I won't be long.
Not at all, not at all. Do your thing. This is your place.
So yeah,
Go
he's
seek
gonna.
guidance if you need it. We will
I'm sorry?
remain here. I said, go seek guidance if you need it. We will remain here.
Thank you, gentlemen. So he just wants to go and find a pew and kneel down for a while. And he's going to kind of grasp both of his amulets, one that he's had for a long time and the new one that he's still trying to figure out.
All right, Ferric offers up some directions so Douglan can find his way to the temple, and he turns to Nightingale and Corvus and says, well, what is it the rest of you would like to do while he's off praying to his god?
I don't think we should wander too far. We might lose him.
Should we just maybe accompany him there then?
How far are we, Ferric, from the entertainment district? You know, where a guy would grab a beer and...
Oh, here in Whalespell, that could be just about anywhere. There's quite an array of taverns and pubs and the such throughout the town. We're not far from a couple right here on the waterfront.
It's far too early, and we're up far too late to be hitting the pubs up this early, but being who I am, I'm just curious to get to know the place. How long have you been in Whalespell?
Dawn and I have called Whalespell home for a couple of years now. We have been working towards our admission into the Wanderers, and the procurement of the mask was the final task. That brings me to a good topic, I guess, gentlemen. Dawn and I will be attending dinner at the Wanderers Guild House tonight. We're going to offer up the mask, and that will be our acceptance into the group. We would love it if the 3 of you would attend with us and enjoy a little bit of celebration, maybe?
That could be easily arranged. I think once we have word with Douglan and he's got his thoughts in a row, I'm sure we could make that happen. Be lovely.
Oh, excellent. I know Dawn will be quite pleased. She really would like you to be there to enjoy it, as clearly you were a big part in seeing it happen.
Well, some of our parts were bigger than others, but, we're glad everything turned out wonderful.
Well, shall we maybe just wander about then?
Yeah, well, Corvus seems worried, so we won't go too far from the temple. I'm sure it's pretty easy to find, but maybe peruse a couple markets while we're here. I could use a few provisions that I noticed I was missing during our escapades.
So, although, activity is quite brisk in Whalespell, there's lots of people on the move and going about their daily business. There are very little outdoor vendor activity right now. It is still late winter. It's cold. Although the weather is nice today, it has been a bit ugly for the last week or so. So there's really no outdoor vendors to see per se. It's all various shops throughout Whalespell. Whalespell is lacking in sort of defined districts. The way that it grew up, it didn't really form with, here is the merchant district and it's all just a hodgepodge mix of market squares and living accommodations and stores. A lot of the stores in Whalespell above them are places where people live. At ground level tends to be shops and such, and people live in the rooms above. As I said, Whalespell at some point kind of just ran out of real estate, and they just started to build up. So it's very rare you'll see, anything less than a 2 or 3 or even 4-story buildings in Whalespell.
As Fenric, is it, or Ferric? Ferric, yes, that's right, Ferric. As Ferric is kind of showing us around, we're kind of cruising around. Nightingale's going to be watching out for, thief guild markings, marking places where thieves could go to find perhaps thieves' tools or get a job or things like this. It's kind of the thieves' can't kind of thing, like listening to conversations, talking with people and stuff like that, to try to find a place where he could possibly get his hands on a few tools.
Give us so you're just milling about just outside of the temple, kind of walking around, not wanting to leave the temple for whenever Douglan emerges again. Give us a perception check, please, Nightingale.
Yeah!
All right. As you are walking about, you definitely see the hidden and subliminal signs of Thieves Guild presence within, you find markings on a couple of the stores, a marking that would say, don't mess with these stores, which in the thieves world usually means they're paying for protection, so don't mess with these folks. You don't see anything sort of in the area around the temple that would tell you that it is a place friendly to thieves. But you can definitely see that there is
a presence.
a heavy presence of a thieves guild within Whalespell.
Excellent. Excellent. Good. So,
Douglan, how are we doing there?
So he's going to go into the temple and he'd like to speak with, he won't say head cheese, but the head cheese. If I could do that. That'd
Sure.
be great.
You so you walk in. It is it's not a huge temple. As I mentioned, space is quite the premium in Whalespell. This is maybe what some people would consider just the footprint of a large house, although it is a two-story temple, clearly from the windows, and when you go inside, rather than seeing, in many temples where you would have big vaulted ceilings, this just has a 10-foot ceiling, although very ornate and painted up with pictures and such to Gath. You see several clerics are milling about inside. Some of the pews inside have people who are sitting and praying. There doesn't seem to be anything formal going on. It's just people like yourself who are visiting the temple for a little self-reflection. But you do see a couple of clearly clerics of the temple milling about.
Would they be, I mean, I would know this, would they be referred to as father, pastor, or...
No, you just refer to them as cleric. Cleric so-and-so, cleric so-and-so.
Got it. Wow. Excuse me, cleric. Is it possible to speak with the man in charge here?
Well, good day, my son, but I'm afraid that the head of this temple is away right now. Is there something that I could help you with, maybe?
Perhaps just a moment of your time. I just need well, maybe there's a place I can go just to be quiet and speak with Goth, if you know what I mean.
You are welcome to sit anywhere in here, and if you do need a private area, there are some private rooms off to the side if you need a little more peace.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's getting. He'll nod his head and thanks, and he'll find one of the private ones, and he's gonna take out both of his amulets. One that he's worn forever. He has always been a follower of Gath. It's just sort of like part of his family. But then the new one, he takes out and he looks at it like even longer and really just finally kind of looks at what he now is understanding is a gift, but more than that, a contract almost. Like he's feeling the weight of it. It's lifting him up, but weighing him down all at once. His medallion that he's had for a while, it's I can put it in the chat if you guys want. It's a little bit more modest, well worn, not as ordained. But the new one it's got a big ruby inset. They're both have triangle, markings, but the new one has sort of sharp star as a background. And again, I'll put it in the chat once I figure out how to do that. He stares at it for a while, and it just starts asking, Goth, tell me my purpose here. I don't know where to go. I don't understand. I need your guidance. And he just meditates for a while to see if anything comes. He's not expecting anything because so far everything has just sort of come when he's needed it versus understanding it beforehand.
Okay, as Douglan is sort of praying and meditating, the words that the seer said to you just start to play over and over in your mind again. When she said, that you need to keep searching for the answers, and they will find you. And her voice, just kind of keeps echoing in your head, and that thought really becomes clear and present in Douglan's mind, that that you may not understand what it is you're searching for, but you have to keep searching, and you will find the answers you're looking for.
Okay. That's good. So he feels a little more settled, but not complete. He understands the words, but not the meanings right now. He thinks that maybe heading back to get Anton settled might be a good start. It's just he doesn't know where else to go. Whalespell was his first to get some answers in regards to how to get to the rifts. That's where he wants to go. I think he's going to go back to the cleric and ask about that. In fact, yeah, let me, if I could, I'll get up and find the cleric that I was speaking to before.
Yep, you find them again. They're just sort of milling about, seemingly there just to answer questions of anyone that comes to the temple to visit or pray or meditate or whatever reason brings them there.
Forgive me, cleric. Have you ever heard of beings from another plane that worship Gath?
That is a very complicated question. There are many beings that worship Gath, both in this world and the others. I don't think I completely understand what it is that you're looking for.
Well, until 3 days ago, I had no idea there were other planes of existence. So I'm trying to figure all this out, cleric, and I need your help. What else is out there?
Well, now, my son, do you not believe in the heavens and the hells?
Of course not. But I don't think
then
these
you
came
know
from
there are other planes.
Fair enough. But I don't think these came from there.
Well, one would hope they did not come from the hells.
Oh. That's not where she's at.
May I ask who you're looking for?
I'm looking for my daughter.
And you believe she's in heaven or hell?
I don't know where she is, but I know who she's with. And then I know the name, right? I knew the term Githin Thor, right? Those
Yes.
were told to me. Okay.
The seer told you about both the two clans of Gith.
Right. So Douglan's going under the premise that he needs to shake things and not be so secret about this. That's the way he's interpreting it. Paladins aren't really smart. So he is going to be asking around, even though maybe he shouldn't be. And he's going to basically recount the story to this cleric. And that he is on a path to get back there to save her, if that's what needs to be done. So he's going to recount all of this to the cleric. And then at the end say, apologies, cleric, I wanted to give this to your boss, but apparently he's on a walkabout right now, so you're it, lad.
The cleric kind of takes this all in and says, would you maybe accompany me to one of the private rooms?
Of course.
When you you get into the room, and the cleric closes the door on the room, and it is quite a tale you tell. I'm sorry, I don't know your name.
Douglan McCain.
Douglan, when I was young, my parents, who were also clerics of Gath, They told me of a story that is similar to yours. As a child, I just thought they were stories to send little kids to bed when it was time. But in the stories, my parents spoke of a place where you could access these planes. I'm sorry, I don't know what this place is, but it is a place somewhere within Emathan where you can travel to these other planes of existence. I wish I had more to offer you, but all I can say, Douglan, is if your daughter is in one of these places, I do believe they can be accessed from Emathan.
Is there a name? Or is it just a place?
It's a place. It was a very specific place they would speak of, but they never mentioned it in their stories, but it is out there. And if what you tell me is your daughter is somewhere on one of these planes, I would suggest you seek this place.
He thanks him, and but then mumbles, mysteries on top of mysteries. Can't someone just give me a straight answer? Sorry, cleric, I don't mean to get frustrated.
I do understand, and I wish there was more I could offer up. But as I said, they were stories I heard as a child, and they did not come with specifics, only that there was a place where you could access, in my mother and father's eyes, the heavens, the hells, and the ever after. And for everybody's clarity, the ever after is Newell's domain between the heavens and the hells.
All right. Well, cleric, I appreciate your time. I will continue to have the faith that Gath will guide me where I need to be.
Your faith in Gath will find you answers, Douglan. Hold on to that faith.
Is there a donation box that he sees?
At the entranceway there is.
Okay. He's going to drop 3 gold in the donation.
Right,
and he's not going to pull, he's not going to make sure that he's seeing doing it. He's just going to do it. He doesn't need the, hey, I'm giving you a tip. Check it out. No.
Missed opportunity.
Yes.
All right, Corvus and Nightingale, you're just sort of milling about, the entranceway to the temple, and you see Douglan emerge from the temple.
Nightingale will kind of put his hand up. Douglan, we're over here. Kind of walk over to him.
Yeah.
Probably hard to miss me. Not sure if that was necessary.
Well, I forgot you were here.
So?
I hope everything went well with you, Douglan.
Well, to be honest, Nightingale, there's more questions than answers right now.
I would agree. It seems you are at the heart of an incredibly interesting mystery.
Aye. Well, lads, I know we didn't really speak in detail, but perhaps when we're done with our business here in Whalespell, we could head back to the winery. I fear that Anton may not be out of the woods yet.
Oh, well, as a representative of the Penumbra Bards, your family's winery is of our utmost importance. And it would be negligent of myself not to assist you in whatever way I could. And Corvus will come too.
Ferric, who's been, milling about a little ways away from you, comes over and says, well, gentlemen, I believe that maybe we should return home. I would like to speak with Dawn and see how she made out with the children. And I'm sure by this time of day, she's probably whipping up a little lunch for everyone, if you're interested in such.
Douglan pats his belly. I could eat.
Is there anything in particular you might want to stop at on the way? Any types of shops, or we'll pass many on the way back to the apartment.
If we are traveling back to the winery, perhaps we should restock our traveling supplies.
That's a good idea, Corvus. And when I was on campaign, sometimes those liquids that I believe saved my arse back there may not be a bad thing. I think we've got the funds maybe to get one or two, eh?
Agreed, and maybe we could procure ourselves a ride back to Evandor. Perhaps horses for rent.
Ferric goes, do you want to do all of that now, or?
Well, I'd hate to do shopping on an empty stomach. You tend to buy foolish things like berry wines and things like that. So let's eat, and then we'll head out for some supplies. All in agreement?
Aye.
It's settled then.
Okay, so you make your way back through Whalespell. So Whalespell has the central road that comes down through right to the waterfront, used by the merchants and their wagons as they bring materials to the docks, take materials away. The secondary road, so the main road through, you could probably, you could bring 3 or 4 wagons wide. It's a very wide road. Secondary roads here, you could maybe get a couple of wagons by each other most of the time. And other roads are maybe a wagon could make it down there. Alleyways, you'd barely get a cart. Ferric takes you winding through roads. You see some market squares. They're quiet now. One market square will be very run down. The next sort of square might have a fountain, not currently running with the cold weather, but what you find in Whalespell, it's a very mixed city. As I said before, you feel like you're in a very rich area. You turn a corner, it's a bit of squalor. You turn another corner, it's all shops. It's a very mixed bag as far as the city goes. You make it back to the home. You now see that there's no shop in the building that they live in. This particular area, there's no shops at ground level. This is all just living space in this area. It's around a small square. Make your way upstairs, and sure enough, Dawn is up there working in the kitchen, preparing a lunch for everyone. And as you guys enter, she comes out and says, Douglan, how was your trip to see the Vanguard?
Emotional.
Oh, in a good way?
Dawn, yeah. I'm gonna say it was in a good way because I got to see my Maggie all grown up. Oh, you should have seen her, Dawn. Should have seen her.
Douglan, I am sure I will one day see her.
From your lips to goth ears.
Indeed. Is everyone hungry? Oh, and while I'm thinking about it, the children have been taken care of. The clerics believed one of the children may even belong to a family here in Whalespell. They will be investigating it further. They were very thankful for the donation and assured that the children will be looked after the very best they can.
That is good news.
Indeed. Now, please, everyone, have a seat. I will bring in some lunch.
Colin, on the way back, Nightingale was again keeping watch for signs of guild safe havens and that kind of thing.
Give us another perception check, please. You didn't notice, understanding you're kind of looking for a place that you may be able to talk to about procuring some thieves' tools. You don't find anything on the way back that makes you feel like you could inquire there.
Okay.
So now you're seated about. Maggie brings out some trays of some trays of meats and cheeses and breads and mugs of ale for everybody. And she turns to Ferric and says, "Father, did you speak to them about tonight?" Ferric says, oh yes, indeed, I did, and they have graciously agreed to join us for dinner, so they can see us get our final initiation into the Wanderers.
Douglan's like, what are we doing tonight?
Nightingale will leave over. Oh yes, by the way, we've been invited to the victory dinner, for lack of a better term, for Dawn and her father entering into the guild. We're guests of honor.
All right. Suppose it's the least we could do.
And it's a free meal.
I could eat.
All right, gentlemen, is there anything else you'd like to play out through the afternoon, or should we just assume you spend the afternoon milling about the apartment, eating, napping, checking your well, we do have Douglan.
He's definitely
Douglan.
napping, yeah. All kidding aside, though, I mean, listen, we all have a few bucks. I don't think a potion of healing or two is a bad.
I for sure.
Yeah,
for
we
sure.
definitely need to go provision shopping.
Now, Colin, from our walk back with Ferric, do we feel fairly comfortable, but that we could leave and find our way back here?
My guy can.
Yeah, you're fairly certain with paying a little attention, you'd be able to find your way back.
Okay, well then, what say ye after lunch we head out for some supplies? Best not waste our time when we have such a exciting evening ahead of us.
Now, in real life, I mean, Douglan would probably go take a nap, but I would tell you guys to go get it, and I'm going to take a nap. But no, I'll come with you guys.
All right.
Okay, good.
I would admit, I am his slave, not yours. Get off the ass, lazy.
Well put, Corvus. Well put.
All right, we'll montage this a little bit. We'll say that you make your way out and about, exploring Whalespell, the three of you mighty adventurers. As I mentioned, there is a wide range of stores. As you get down towards the waterfront, you kind of see, for the most part, we'll say maybe the last quarter of Whalespell as you approach the water is just all big warehouse buildings and merchant home bases, the offices of some of the sailing companies. But as you move back towards the entrance, you find there are lots of stores that you can pretty much find anything, it would appear, that you're looking for here in Whalespell. So what are you looking for? I'm going to just basically allow I am going to play out one section here, but if there's anything you want to purchase, we can just go about getting that and say you were easily able to find it in town.
I would like 5 days rations, a bag of sand, and
Bag of sand.
Yeah. How else am I to cast the sleep spell? It requires sand.
All right. So you're talking just a small bag of fine sand. You're not looking for a sandbag.
No, not a sandbag.
I'd
I travel with two.
sand. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you able? Do those items show up to you in the items list, Barry?
I always just open up the player's handbook and pull out the equipment section and throw it into my tab. So that's how I go about it.
Yeah, I'm just, if you can get at the items.
Are just same price going across, or is there any inflation here?
Nope, we'll just say that it's standard cost, normal cost for everything here. No inflation.
I'd like to top off my arrows.
Okay.
But my arrows are larger than normal arrows. Would I be able to find a Fletcher that can make them for me or something? Or
we'll say that you're able to find arrows, after maybe asking a few different places in town. You're directed to a place that has arrows of several different sizes. Same cost. Douglan, what about yourself?
Well, he's going to top off his rations to 10. And then
I'll trust you'll all take out the
yeah.
appropriate coinage for such as you.
And then he would like a potion of healing. I don't know if anybody else wants one.
yeah,
Are we able to get those here, Colin?
You're not able to find anyone that will procure potions to you. No, actually, I'm gonna take that back. Yes, you do find a couple of magic stores that do offer up some potions. If you have the coinage for it. You're just looking for a couple of potions of healing?
I just want one for myself. I'm gonna, encourage the other two to have one each. Guys, we fell pretty easy there, all of us, and I only have so much healing, I believe, and not even sure how it works.
I want to buy one.
Yep. So the magic shop, or they sell spell components and non-magical staves and robes, and after talking with the proprietor, he does offer up that he has 4 potions of healing that would be available for 50 gold pieces each. If you so wish to buy them.
Yeah, I'm gonna take one.
Sorry, how much was it?
50
They're
gold each.
50 gold each.
And he had 4?
He had 4 of them. Yes.
Okay, I'll pick up 2. So I'll get rid of 100 gold there for.
And I'll take 1. Can I get a hooded lantern?
Absolutely. Any standard adventuring gear you can definitely procure here in Whalespell. So, Nightingale, as you're milling about the town, you see a subliminal sign on a knife sharpening shop that says that thieves are welcome here.
While the others are distracted picking up their wares, I will slip into there.
All right. It is indeed a shop where there's a large stone sort of foot operated. You pump it, the stone goes around where you would clearly sharpen. On the wall there are various knives and such. No swords or anything. These look like more like knives you would use for food preparation or butchering or that sort of thing. Over behind a small counter area there is we'll call him an older gentleman, and he's got just a hand stone with a small dagger, and he's very carefully sharpening that, and he looks up and
hello there. What could I do for you?
Greetings, friend.
Greetings to you too.
I was wondering if I would be able to get my hands on some tools of the trade.
No, I'm not sure. What trade would that be?
See, I help people open things.
Open their feelings? I'm sorry, you'll have to be more clear than this. Just an old man, you know.
Can I don't speak thieves' cant, Colin. What am I supposed to do here? Ixnay the pixie.
what kind of thief are you who doesn't speak thieves' cant?
No, I have it. I just don't actually speak it.
In the real world.
In the real
if you-
world, Colin.
If you tell me you speak thieves' cant to him, well then
Yes.
I'll know
I-
you're
I-
speaking thieves' cant.
I will
to
be
him.
speaking thieves' cant to be more clear about what I'm looking for.
So if you read thieves' cant, the way that it's described is you can have a regular conversation, but by the phrasing and the words you use, it takes longer to say something, but another thief will recognize
Yeah.
the message within your words, right?
Hides in plain sight. It's great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll basically be rambling off that I'm looking for a very particular set of knives
All right.
to help me open up the things I need opened.
The gentleman kind of looks you over a little bit and says,
Are you new to this town?
I'm just passing through.
he gives you a beady-eyed look.
That's a good answer. Let's take a look at the wares you're asking for, shall we?
He reaches under the counter and he lifts up a wooden box and he lays it down. There's a couple of little leather bundles there, and he lays one on the counter and undoes a little string and rolls it out. And
Maybe these are the tools you're looking for? They're just for picking your teeth clean.
Indeed. Nightingale will have a look at them to see what kind of shape and quality and the variety of stuff that's included in them. They look like a decent set.
they look like they are very well made. Definitely as good a quality as you've seen in the past.
A fine-looking set of tools you have here, sir. What's your name? I did not catch it coming in.
My name is Pierre.
Pierre. You are a local, I can tell, being you asked me if I was one. I have a question for you. I was wondering if you could enlighten me on the situation here.
Sure.
Is there a presence in this town of Whalespell of the Black Fingers gang?
No, definitely not.
Who is the most outstanding guild in this city?
They are just simply known as the Sea Shadow.
Sea Shadow. I would assume then they are the ones marking the territory around here.
Of course, they are the only... I don't like to use the word thief. Light-fingered guild?
It's good to know. Do I owe any dues to them for passing through their territory?
Not if you are indeed passing through. And he kind of gives you the look again.
No worries, me intruding in this territory, old man. Got my eyes set on bigger prizes. How much for the set? They look of fine quality.
They are indeed. It'll be for you 25 gold.
Can I try a bit of persuasion? You know, pleading a story that I've been on the road a long time, and without these tools, I will surely perish. You want me to do a roll?
You can try persuasion check, yes.
What do you have to offer for them then?
I'll be like, well, money has been a bit tight on the road, and I've come across a few, you know, odds and ends along my way. He'll eye up his slaver ring and be like, no, it's probably not a good idea to give you that. Where are they? Hang on, sorry. I'll be like, well, to be honest, I could offer you, let's say, 22 gold and a bit of a treat. Are you a smoking man by chance?
Only when I'm on fire.
Oh. Well, it's a shame I happen to have a finely crafted cigar from Easterly. They are quite the rage in all the cities. It's very hard to come across this tobacco. It's very aromatic.
Fine then. 22 gold and this tobacco you speak of.
Okay, I'll dish it out. So you won't be disappointed by these cigars. I've been coveting them a long time on the road, and parting with them is of great sorrow to me.
You can get your thieves' tools there. All right. Corvus, anything else in particular you're after?
I think that does it for me, unless we are going to get horses.
Can we rent horses? Did Ferric know if that's a possibility instead of us having to buy them to get to nowhere?
No ability to rent horses, because how would you return them? The rent-a-horse kiosks are all closed in Evandor.
There's no U-Haul.
Do they have Uber? Is there an Uber? Well, yeah, let's go see what they cost, gentlemen.
Well,
We say before I'm out of money.
I'm just going to say, where are you going to keep horses until you're ready to use them?
Well, we stable them at where we buy them until we're...
Probably
Perhaps
for
we can
a
just
fair fee.
inquire about them now.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe montage that.
So basically, as soon as Nightingale has his thieves' tools, he's going to slip back out of this shop and, kind of join up with the rest.
Yep.
Pretending like he was never gone.
All right. You make some inquiries and determine that horses are quite readily available within Whalespell. You can get a horse and saddle, saddlebags if you choose, all sort of standard costs you would expect them to be, nothing outrageous. There's always, because of all the merchant activity in and out, there's lots of exchange of horses here, so you won't have any trouble, as long as it's within, for lack of a better term, business hours of procuring horses when you need them, even for someone such as Corvus.
Are we okay in making the assumption, despite Corvus's height, he's not as big and bulky as most. He wouldn't need a war horse. He could ride a riding horse.
But it could also be a draft horse, right?
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I mean, horse. It's not all just size, right? I mean, you could have a Clydesdale that is a draft horse. Or
a
just a regular.
horse.
Yeah, or exactly, or vice versa, right? I mean, some horses
actually
are
have
very
draft
big,
horse.
some horses are small. Be able to find a horse big enough for Corvus for sure.
They actually have draft horses in the items. So.
Okay. Well, as long as we kind of know where to find them, we can pick them up when we need them.
Yeah, you identify a couple of different stables. It seems lots of travelers make it to Whalespell and sell off their horses to stables that are located on the entrance into the city. So you identify where you could pretty easily find that.
Anything you need, Douglan? Have you found everything you needed?
Oh, I'm good.
All right, you've spent a good chunk of the afternoon milling about Whalespell, finding the things you were looking for, and you head back to Ferric and Dawn's apartment. They're getting themselves a little bit polished up for the night. It's obviously a big night for them.
Oh, that's right. You two probably don't have anything nice to wear, do you?
Douglan looks down at his chainmail splattered with goblin blood. Perhaps I should wash up.
Indeed. Corvus, you by chance wouldn't have anything that doesn't smell of dead things?
My clothes do not smell of dead things. They smell of the outdoors. And no, this is what I wear.
Okay, sweet. I guess a guild of adventurers, you will not stand out as terribly.
No, both Ferric and Dawn assure you guys that, they're not dressing up fancy. They're just, much like you said with Douglan, they're just making sure their weapons are cleaned of goblin blood, and everything is just clean and not covered in.
Nightingale's watching what they mean by fancy as he's tucking away his fancy clothes he was pulling out. Oh, you're just washing. That's fancy. I got it.
For us it is.
Pulling out your puffy pirate shirt.
Oh yeah.
I guess I won't need.
It's a special occasion when I chew on a mint leaf.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. All right,
guys.
we are we're
Allergies
now
kicking
we're
in. I
now-
just gotta go grab some Kleenex. I'll be right back.
Yep. We're now getting into sort of close to supper time, and Dawn and Ferric are. Well, is everyone ready to go?
I can't think of a reason we wouldn't be. We've picked up everything we need around town, and the only thing left to do is celebrate your guys' induction into the Wanderers Guild.
You know, they're both beaming at even the the mention of it. Ferric goes over to his pack that he was carrying, and he opens it up, and he pulls out the large section of cloth that he had wrapped the mask in, and he kind of uncovers it and takes a look at it, and he's like, "My God, this is a hideous looking thing, really. Why would anyone want to wear this thing?" And he covers it back up again, shoves it in sort of a shoulder bag, and well, shall we?
Before we head out, I just kind of pulled Nightingale close, and I don't know why it comes to me, but you really asked him what this Wanderers group is about?
Sorry, could you? I didn't hear that myself. Craig.
I just don't know why. I mean, it's an evil mask, and they've been very polite and very nice, and obviously they were captured by goblins, but I just kind of have a moment of doubt, and just sort of call it a habit that he doesn't like to walk into places without really knowing, and I just kind of whisper, and Corvus can hear too, say, "Do you know what this Wanderers group is about?"
Can I make a history check to see if I've heard anything about the Wanderers since my time in protected lands?
It has nothing to do with being in the protected lands. You can absolutely make a history check on the Wanderers. So, you have absolutely heard of the Wanderers before. They are an adventuring guild that has that's basically all through Emathan. There are Wanderer guild houses in Easterly. You definitely have heard of it before. What you know of it is it's just essentially what it appears to be. It is people who thrive on adventure, but almost equally what you know of the Wanderers are they thrive on not only the completion of an adventure, but they then thrive on the telling of the story to other Wanderers. So one of the biggest things that Wanderers try to do is they're big storytellers, right? So they go on an adventure and they then develop a story, and Wanderers will gather together and tell their adventure stories. And another big thing that a lot of adventurers do is they actually get tattooed with the tattoo is like a mini story of one of their adventurers. So you'll find a lot of them are just, some of the older members are just covered in tattoos. And again, it's sort of a badge of honor as a Wanderer to have these story tattoos that are on, so on your arm you may have tattooed this big dragon and this warrior. And the reason they get them on there is people will say, "Oh, what's the story behind that one?" And they'll tell the story of how that's basically attached to that that tattoo.
Great.
They're really
guild
they
full of people
just
that like Sorry, I was gonna say whole guild full of people that like to talk as much as this one.
Corvus, that's exactly what it is. It's the whole guild full of people that just love to go on adventures. You know, often it's acquiring something because you can bring that thing back and show that they accomplished it, right? They were able to do whatever the thing was. You had a question?
No, I was just going to say, I'm going to describe the Wanderers as a corporate adventuring company.
Almost. Yeah.
With franchises all throughout the protected lands. So.
that is a modern day way of describing them. Absolutely.
Sounds like a place you will thrive in, Nightingale.
But the Nightingale, the Wanderers are centuries old. They have been a guild for many centuries. They're not new kids on the block.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it's
Sorry,
just
go
a
ahead.
group
Derek.
of people that wish they were bards, but can't handle the performance.
Yes, indeed.
So we're not walking into some evil
No,
ritual
Douglan.
where they're going to
No.
put that mask on you, since you love to wear masks.
The Wanderers are
This is
neither
not Eyes
evil
Wide
nor
Shut.
good.
Yeah.
They're just out for the adventure.
All right. Forgive an old soldier.
a
Paranoid
valid
kept me
question.
alive.
If it would make you feel better, I'm sure you asking what their plans are for the mask wouldn't be an insult.
Oh, maybe that should be up to Farrick and Dawn. I just don't want to put it on your face.
Are you actually talking to them, or you're amongst
No,
yourselves?
this was just within the three of us. I just had a moment of, wait, are we walking into some sacrifice where we're the sacrifice?
Yeah.
You know.
Come to our party.
Yeah. So, no, I'm good.
We'll be
GM
checking
planning
out
on
this
killing me.
mask.
Yeah. Smoking.
See that?
Yeah. Oh no, you've got my whole storyline around the mask figured out.
There's going to be a Jim Carrey appearance. I knew it.
Yes, absolutely. All right, so you head out, make your way across Whalespell. It's now getting later, later in the day. The sun is just about gone down. You're really surprised how well the streets in Whalespell are lit. Clearly, there are a large guild of lamplighters here because the streets are very well lit. You get to a large, what appears to be, you know, a fair amount of buildings that are all separate buildings, but they're all joined together, as many of the buildings are here in Whalespell. And Farrick and Dawn, they kind of go around to a big set of double doors, and there's a couple of gentlemen warming themselves by a fire there, and Farrick turns to you all and if I could just get you to wait here, and I'm going to talk to them, make sure they know that we're coming. He goes up, and you see some handshaking and back slapping. They clearly know each other, and Farrick points back to the four of you, including Dawn, who are waiting there, and he comes back a few minutes later and says, "All right then, everything has been taken care of. We can head in and find a place for dinner."
Nightingale will whisper in Douglan's ear, "They've accepted you as a sacrifice."
Stick to singing. Comedy ain't your gig.
They say you're well marbled.
Yeah. I'm all sinew and bone.
All right. There is these big double doors. There is a man door through them. One of the two gentlemen that were sort of, we'll call it, it looked somewhat on guard of the entranceway. They go over, they knock on the door, it unlatches from the inside, and the door is opened up, and the 5 of you make your way through. As soon as you go through the door, what immediately strikes you is the massive improvement in the quality of everything. So from the outside, this looked weathered and somewhat older buildings, but as soon as you go inside, everything is very well maintained and very well built. You walk down through a bit of a tunnel way, and you come out into a large, what appears to be sort of an inter courtyard, which is meticulously maintained. There are trees, and it's quite warm in here compared to what you would expect. And as you look up, this courtyard is glassed over. It's actually enclosed inside. It's almost like a little atrium inside of here. And all around this large courtyard are balconies. And then you can see, in through open doorways and windows and such, there's activity kind of all around here. There's apparently quite a few people milling about the inside of this complex. So, Ferric says, well, I do have a bit of a favorite table here, so follow me, gentlemen, and we'll see if it's available. He kind of walks off to the right, goes up a staircase, enters one of the doorways, and what you see inside, clearly it would appear that there's a large grouping of buildings all around, that they've all built into one big common complex on the inside. So it doesn't give that appearance on the outside. But on the inside, it's all a very large. And when you walk inside, there are just fire pit places all over the place in here, with groupings of very comfortable looking seating that kind of creates small dining meeting areas just all over where you're seeing. And Ferric takes you over to the corner where there's a fireplace burning up against one wall. It's got about a half dozen seats in a semicircle with a table in the middle, and he says, oh yes, that is my favorite one right there. Shall you join me, gentlemen?
I
Grab a seat. Something
All
so
right.
that I have my back to the wall and I can kind of see out what's going on.
Yep, there's in the corner here, there's basically 2 walls. The fireplace is up against one wall, the other wall is blank with a couple of chairs. Between each of the chairs, there's little tables with ashtrays and such. So, as you look across, there's just a lot of men and women of various races all through here, sitting around in little groups, hobnobbing is what appears to be going on in here. A few minutes later, a young lady makes her way over, and she immediately walks up to Dawn and, "Oh, Dawn, it's so good to see you again, and your father, and you've brought some new friends?" Dawn looks at her. "Yes, these are some friends that we met outside of Whalespell that we have invited to join us tonight." And she kind of gets a little quiet. We are going to get accepted into the group tonight. We finished our last adventure." And you can see the barmaid is, "Oh my goodness, that will be fantastic. I guess drinks then to start. What can we get, everyone?"
whiskey, please.
goat's milk if you have it.
I'll see about that. I'm not sure about that one. Whiskey we can do. And for you, sir, she kind of gives you a bit of a strange look, and
Nightingale's trying to keep from puking in his mouth, knowing that Corvus wants to drink goat's milk. My dear, I can see you staring upon me. I am Nightingale, a penumbra bard from the kingdom of Alagon, and I would like one of your finest vintages in celebration of my dear friend's acceptance, please.
absolutely, I can take care of that.
And your name?
My name is Annie.
Annie. It's a pleasure to meet you.
And Dawn, Ferric, the usual for you? Yes, we'll have the usual. Thank you very much, Annie. And she heads off to presumably a bar or a kitchen or somewhere, and Ferric turns to the group and goes, well, gentlemen, I'm gonna have to head out and have a couple of conversations about the fact that we finished things up here, and I'll be back in a little while, and we'll start this celebration then.
Ferric, before you go, may I be so bold as to ask a favor from you?
Of course.
Nightingale will kind of walk up and put his arm around Ferric and talk into his ear. Now, Ferric, my friend Douglan is a little concerned about what exactly is going to happen with this mask. Now, it seems to be something of the rather nasty variety, and us, let's just say he's a little concerned it doesn't fall into the wrong hands, if you know what I mean.
I'd say that that's a fair concern, absolutely. So I'll put all your minds at ease, and let's say we'll be warming our arses with this thing before the night is done.
I will relay that to Douglan. I'm sure it will put his worry-wart self to rest. And I'll walk
with
back
that,
Ferric,
Ferric heads off, sort of in the direction that Annie went, and leaving the four of you there.
Nightingale will look to Douglan. Douglan, I requested that Ferric find out what was going to happen with the mask, and he assures me the evil clerics have no earth-shattering plans for it.
It's good to hear. That thing emanated evil.
Indeed, and if what Ferric tells me, we'll be warming our asses, quote unquote, with it later this evening. So I assume that means we're going to have Corvus dance around with it on his buttocks.
As I recall, you're the one that likes to flash their arse in front of the fire.
What do you mean? I was merely warming my butt cheeks up from last night's frigidness.
No, that's good news there, Nightingale. Thank you for asking.
So, gentlemen, we are all in agreement that heading back to speak with Anton is our course of action, correct?
I'd like to, if you guys will accompany me.
Then we'd help. Didn't say we would not when the journey got long.
Agreed. This is, I believe, Douglan, we've all agreed to assist you in one form or another, so to your home it is. And we shall leave in the morning, barring any weird circumstance. Agreed?
Agreed.
I tire of the smell of fish.
Well, we are surrounded by large bodies of water, Corvus. I don't think we're going to get too far away from it, but I agree. Whalespell does has a certain aroma to it, doesn't it?
All right. Annie reappears carrying a tray with drinks for everyone, and she turns to Corvus. Well, believe it or not, I was able to find you some goat's milk.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Do you want anything, that's stronger in that?
I do not drink, but thank you.
Understood, then. So, are we going to be eating, then?
I could eat.
Clearly. You can eat, Douglan. Yes, would you bring us something nice?
Absolutely. Everybody's hungry, then?
Yeah, I would think so.
I could eat.
I'll bring 2 for him.
Be a wise one.
2 helpings.
All right, Annie's off, and Dawn sort of turns to the group and goes, I would just like to take a second before my father returns to give my thanks to the 3 of you for accompanying me into that temple to find him. Realistically, this night is as much about the 3 of you as it is about us. I just want you to understand how much it meant to me that you listened to me and you came with me that night. I was very distraught and not myself, but just thank you.
Douglan has a tinge of guilt knowing that he did not want to go, so he remains quiet.
Dawn, I think I can speak for the group when I say we must commend you on your bravery. Not everyone would be willing enough to approach a Goliath and his ragtag company to ask such a favor, and your father is very lucky to have someone who's willing to put themselves out there.
Well, gentlemen, if the truth be known, you were the 4th group I had asked in 2 days. I was getting desperate, and I'm very glad that you said yes.
Well, I won't lie, that stings a little, but I'm glad we could help anyway.
It's not like I would take your thanks, but it is not like we did not have ulterior motives. We were paid well for our services.
Indeed, indeed.
So Ferric reappears with a gentleman following him. He's quite a large, muscular man, very long gray hair, and a big long gray beard. He's dressed. He's dressed the way you would say an adventurer would be dressed. His outfit is something you'd expect someone that was heading out into the wilds to be dressed. And the Ferric and this gentleman come up to the group, and Ferric turns and says, "Gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Axton Embershadow. Axton is the head of the Wanderers Guild here in Whalespell, and Axton has assured us that we have now gained our passage into the Wanderers. So thank you to you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for your assistance. I must say, this is a proud day for myself and Dawn." Axton turns to the group and says, "So I understand that all of you helped him out quite a bit on this, so I want to thank all of you for that. Not everybody would, and it's a very good showing on all of your part. I would just like to say your drinks are on the Wanderers tonight, so please help yourself, indulge, enjoy, help Dawn and Ferric enjoy their night, and Ferric, I believe there is only one piece left to this puzzle if you would like to take care of it. And Ferric goes, yes, indeed, I would. And Ferric walks over to the fireplace, and he opens up his satchel, and he pulls out the mask, and he looks back at Axton. Axton, how many of these has the Wanderers collected now? Axton kind of, I don't know, man. Dozens of these things we've burned over the years, and I look forward to warming our houses with many more of them. And with that, Ferric turns to Dawn and says, Dawn, would you like to do this? She smiles and gets up and comes over, and she takes the mask and she kind of takes a look at it, and she turns it around so you can all see it. It is indeed hideous carving on it. You know, it just kind of gives you like a ugh. That is disturbing. And she turns back and she tosses it into the fireplace. You hear kind of a strange sound as it starts to burn.
Does it always make that sound when you burn one of these things?
Yeah, they do. It's a bit disturbing, but we know they're dying. And the fire kind of gets larger than it probably should be. It has sort of bluish and greenish colors flickering through it as the mask is burning.
I can't resist right now. Now that I've got this newfound magical energy that I can play with, I'm going to raise the hairs on the back of Douglan's neck so he gets a little chill. It'd be like, be brave, man, be brave.
What the hell is that? You guys feel that?
No,
Anybody
Douglan.
feel that draft?
Oh my word.
Tell you there's evil about.
Excellent.
And I can't see your expression, so I don't know
exactly.
it's you. Yep. I just look over and there's this mask looking back at me.
Yeah, he's killing himself underneath it, but
Yep.
So Annie returns with all of your food. It's a very nice spread of meats and cooked potatoes. Looks like there might be chicken and maybe some venison and all done up just kind of in a big spread that everybody can pick away at. Ferric has started smoking a big pipe that he brought with him, and sitting back swilling ales and such and enjoying. Axton has headed off to doing whatever it is the head of an adventurers guild does on such an evening, and yeah, you're just chatting and enjoying some food and drinks, and the evening is progressing, and Annie makes her way up to the group, and she says, Nightingale, could I maybe speak with you for just a moment?
Indeed, Annie. How may I be of assistance?
Could you just join me over here, please?
Barry, you have to ask if Annie's okay. Come on. It's
Annie,
been there
are you
all
okay?
night. Are you okay? Annie? Are you okay? Sorry. Please continue.
Because I am a smooth criminal.
Well, yes, you are indeed a smooth criminal.
As I'm walking over there.
Walk there.
Are you doing the moonwalk?
Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie?
Oh, God help us.
Okay.
All right.
Annie,
So,
you've got me alone. What would you want to do with me?
Sir, I was asked to bring you a message. It's kind of unusual, but it was delivered here and specifically asked to give it to you.
What was the message given to you directly, Annie, or are you?
Well, no, and she, you notice, and in one of her hands she has a small scroll, and she says, "No, this message here I was asked to give you."
What did the gentleman or lady look like who handed you the message as he's slowly taking this from her?
Well, actually, the message was brought to me by one of the doormen. He said it was delivered to him by... To be honest with you, he said he wasn't sure if it was a man or a woman.
Well, thank you. I will address this immediately. And he'll kind of step or turn so she, can't read the message, and he'll...
Moonwalk away.
Yeah. Nightingale will kind of go somewhere private and have a quick gander. Kind of looking around as he's reading it to see if anyone's paying attention to him.
No one seems to be paying attention to you. Here is...
Douglan is.
Or
And
she
not-
would be. You
and not
snoopy
subtly.
snooperson.
Yeah.
I send Mithras over and he snatches it out of his hands and brings it to me and Douglan.
Did that come through to you there?
It did.
Yes. It says, "Dearest Nightingale, to say that I am happy to see you is a substantial understatement. I do not know what brings you here to Whalespell, but I know that Gath has shone a light upon my prayers this day. I am in desperate need of your assistance. I do not wish to elaborate on my need in this note, as I fear what would happen if it fell into the wrong hands. I beg of you to please meet me tonight at the Yawning Dog near the waterfront. I will be performing there until closing. I will watch for you. Please find a table, and I will join you when I am able. Your sister in song, Wren."
Interesting. Too bad you guys will never know about it. Okay. After he's read it, does the name ring a bell to me, Colin?
Wren?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Wren is a name used by sisters of the Penumbra Bard.
Okay.
They tend to be, what's the term I would use? They tend to be deep cover bards.
Okay. So, Nightingale will kind of Yawning Dog down by the waterfront, get a table, and she'll come to me. She's performing. As I'm walking back, I'll kind of roll the scroll up and toss it into the fire.
Okay.
And sit down with the others and be like, "Gentlemen, I have exciting news. We've been invited to watch a performance later. I guess my reputation of being a bard has preceded me, and someone would like to show off their stuff. Would you gentlemen be interested in joining?"
Come again, Nightingale?
I've
Say
been
again?
invited to a show.
Ah, are you singing?
No. There's
then I'll go.
another bastard.
He did, now, mind you, Douglan says this with a smile.
As I reply, "Bastard," with a smile. But you just can't see it.
I replied bastard with a smile.
So we is that tonight?
Yes, after we've had dinner and wished Fendrick and Dawn the best wishes we all wish to wish them. That was a whole lot of wishes in one sentence. I would like to slip off before the evening is too late and watch a performance, if you have no objections, gentlemen.
Well, Nightingale, if I may, I know you're a man of mystery, even an international man of mystery. But is there a little more to this that maybe me and Corvus should know about?
In what way, Douglan?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
If you are asking if there are any sinister plots with evil masks and demon worshipping, I would say no.
Maybe more along.
If it would put you at ease, and I would say that this invitation is one penumbra bard extending a greeting to another, would that put your mind at ease?
Fair enough. And if I may, I think maybe I'm coming across as some paranoid, but you got to understand, I've got 24 years of military service.
Oh yes, and I'm sure
kept
you
me
annoyed
alive.
everyone just as much as you are me.
Well, not all of us can just walk into a room thinking everything's going to be okay. So sometimes maybe this taking caution before we take a step might save your life. Just know that's where it's coming from. I'm not trying to be nosy. I'm just trying to save our skins.
Douglan, if you were anyone but yourself, things would happen. And I'll kind of just pretend to walk off and be like, so it's settled. After dinner, we will go watch a show.
Very profound.
Yes.
Very profound. All right, you finish up dinner. Annie comes with a selection of pipes and tobaccos for everyone to try if they wish. Tops everyone's drinks up, reminding them that in celebration of Ferric and Dawn's acceptance into the Wanderers, everything is on the house tonight.
Oh, Annie, please. That last vintage you brought was magnificent. I would enjoy another bottle. And bring Corvus 2 glasses of the goat milk. He's getting wild this evening. Douglan, would another whiskey suit your needs?
Maybe if I could have a bottle to go, that'd be great.
As you can see, Annie, we're not afraid of taking advantage of hospitality when it's offered.
As would I. It's quite all right.
Well
I
then,
have to forgive him.
give Corvus the whole damn goat. He'll take a drink for the road.
I have to forgive him. He loves the sound of his own voice.
Ah, yes. My fortune cookie spewing friend. Thank you.
All right. Annie leaves, and Ferric and Dawn. Ferric turns to the group and goes, "Well, if you are headed off tonight for a little entertainment, it sounds like, Dawn and I will graciously stay here if you don't mind. We have lots of people we'd like to talk to about our adventure, and we do have a story to create."
No, I don't remember you being invited anyway.
Besides, Jesus, Corvus. Besides that, we don't want to overshadow this evening as it is your evening. You know, I know you and Dawn feel that it was something of us doing and helping, but you two have worked very hard for this, and it has shown. So we don't want to take away from that evening, and I've been invited by a fellow Penumbra Bard to see a performance, and I would like to take that up if it's not too much of an insult to you and Dawn.
Oh, it's not an insult at all. I'm just very happy you could join us tonight and celebrate with us a little bit. As I said, I mean, you are a big part of the fact that we were able to even achieve this.
Well, I think payment enough would be your friendship in the future.
We'll leave the door open for you.
No need. I've just picked up a little of the tickly-tacklies, if you know what I mean. Yes, I mean, perfect, thank you.
I have no idea what you mean.
It's. I had a sip of the
Nobody
goat's
knows
milk.
what he means.
All right.
Should have made you a coat rack this evening.
Annie brings the wine, the whiskey, the glasses of goat's milk. Says old Bessie is she might be done for the night, so
I don't need any more.
I could just see Corvus with a goat over his shoulder and a teat in his mouth.
He's like,
you all
like
you all
it's
took a
sports
bottle home. You all took a bottle home.
Yes, this is mine to go.
It's best when it's fresh from the teat.
Still warm.
All right, you in talking to Don and Ferric, they give you some directions on how to find the Yawning Dog. It is right down by the waterfront. It's one of the taverns that are right down on the waterfront. Should be fairly easy for you to find, they say.
Excellent. Sorry, I was just perusing that bird. Part of the troglodyte family? Like, mind-blowing. Okay, we will head off. I may have missed that part that we've already left. I apologize.
Nope. You thank Ferric and Dawn and congratulate them on their night, and they will be partying into the wee hours of the morning with others from the guild. You head back downstairs into the atrium. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I will ask Ferric to pass our appreciation on to Axton for the hospitality from the Wanderers Guild.
He assures you he will, and says, Axton has told him that the three of you are welcome back anytime you would like to visit again. All right, you make yourself, you head down the stairs back into the atrium. Lots of people now milling about the atrium, again in just little groups, chatting, smoking pipes, and swilling whatever poison is theirs for the night. And you leave, find your way through town, and you come to the outside of the Yawning Dog.
How reputable does this place look?
Have you heard of this place, Nightingale?
It is. So Corvus, it looks to you to be fairly more highbrow than its surroundings. So, it seems to be an establishment that is a step above most of the buildings, shops, and such that you see along the waterfront.
Yeah, so it's not a dive.
It is not.
So, in taking like a few moments to observe the traffic going in and out, will we stand out in there, or
Not at all.
not at all? Okay.
No.
Nightingale will.
What observing the people the comings and goings from the Yawning Dog, what strikes you is what a motley crew of people are coming and going. You know, some people are very well dressed and they look like they are doing quite well. And then moments later, a couple of grimy sailors will walk in behind them. You know, there appears to be quite a mix of people in there.
Nightingale will kind of look at Corvus and be, Corvus, I would like to ask you, in the understanding that you despise me and wish me dead, but if you would do me a favor while we're in this establishment to not bring up the fact you're my slave. Winnings is the way I refer to it, but I'm
not sure which is more insulting.
I know.
Winnings or slave.
Fair enough, but it would go a long way to... It would just go a long way for me. Is that too far for me to ask of you this evening?
I will take it under advisement.
Thank you. At that moment, I'll freeze him, and then I'll look at him and be like, "Oh, you could stay out here," and then I'll unfreeze him.
I'm just as fine staying out here.
Really? You don't want to watch a show? Yeah. Goat's milk coming back up, maybe?
No, the more I talk to you, yes.
I guess I couldn't ask for that winning personality of yours to shape up, so as long as you keep your mouth shut about being a slave, let's go inside. And we'll head inside. Douglan, you're in for a treat, I believe.
Looking forward to it. And this, just so you know, Nightingale, the reason why I took the whole bottle is if I had started drinking, I'd be sleeping in the corner at my age. I'll save it for later. Puts it in his pack. Don't judge me, huh? Wait
no
till
judgment
you get to
here. I've got half a bottle of wine in mine.
So yeah, let's go in.
All right, you head inside. So the Yawning Dog, you walk in through the front doors, and it appears that the Yawning Dog was probably at one point a warehouse building. A lot of the warehouses, because of the fact that everything in Whalespell builds up, a lot of the warehouses have, when you walk inside, you have your main floor. Then there'll be a fairly large area that's cut out to the second floor where they bring cargo up and store it all around the upper areas. So what they did in this warehouse building is they've made that upper area sort of a second drinking area. There's 2 staircases that go up to that upper level. There's bars on either side, left and right on the walls. There are a lot of tables in here. And at the far end of the room from the entrance where you came in, there's quite a sizable stage where there is a bit of a band is up there performing. And they're quite good.
Can we roll to see if it's Ben Boche?
You know what? Absolutely, we can roll to see if it's Ben Boche.
Natural
maybe
20
you've heard,
it is.
maybe you've heard of him.
Come on.
Oh, it's not Ben Boche.
I think I've heard of him, though.
I think I've heard of him as well.
I haven't heard of this Ben Boche. He's not a penumbra bard as far as I'm concerned.
So, much like the observation you made when you were watching outside, there is an absolute mixed bag of people here, and they seem to be attracted by the music. So they're in front of where the band is playing. There's probably 24 people dancing about and having a gay old time.
Is there any type of like doorman receiving you, or
Nope, not at all.
do we see a fairly good? I want to find a table that is in good eye shot of the stage.
There are lots of empty tables in the room. There's just a lot of tables in the room. So there is a lot of people in here, but there's still plenty of tables to choose from. And you are able to find one that's up towards the front of the room, towards the stage.
Good. My fall black plan was to send Corvus to stand by them and drive them out. Just stare at the table, Corvus. That's all I want you to do.
Until they get uncomfortable.
Until they get uncomfortable and leave.
I would just have walked up and farted.
Ah.
Oh, God. What happened? Let's get out of here.
3 glasses of goat milk will do that to you, I guess.
And I forgot to tell you, I am lactose intolerant.
Oh, Jesus.
Perfect.
Things are going to get nasty.
Perhaps you should stay outside, eh?
Yes. Bring an atom bomb into a bar room. Okay, we'll go
There's
grab
a joke
seat,
in there
Colin.
somewhere. All right. You find a table. It's quite a large table, unoccupied. Probably you could comfortably fit 8 or more people around. It's a big round table. Has 8 chairs around it, but there's probably room for even more.
Okay. We'll plunk her down. I'll quickly scan the room, see if I can see a barmaid or something to catch eyes with and wave her over. Or barman.
All right. A few minutes after you make your way in, a barmaid makes her way over, and she comes up and she looks at the 3 of you and, are you expecting more?
No, why?
That's an awfully big table for just the 3 of you, isn't it?
We've got giant personalities, and look at the size of my friend.
I'll admit he needs 2 chairs just for him, but nonetheless, what can I get you?
Do you have goat's milk?
Not require anything, thank you.
Okay, then forget the goat's milk. Dear Lord.
Thank goodness. Don't know of any alcoholic goat's milk.
I
Well, you
would
said
like-
It does not have alcohol.
Me and Douglan will have a brandy, please.
Hey, look at Douglas. He sure likes to order for everyone, doesn't
I didn't realize I was on a date.
he?
Oh, I treat my mom nice every time I go.
We're doing that again. I'll try a brandy, thank you.
A couple of brandies then. Would you like a couple of drinks? We're pretty busy. I'm not sure how quick I'll get back here.
For me, just the one will do. Could you answer who's playing tonight?
Absolutely. They're called the Willow Wind. They're fantastic.
They do have quite a nice sound to them, don't they?
Well, they attract this crowd, and it's good tips when they're here.
You can bring me 2 brandies and a pint of a good stout ale, please.
Done and done. I'll be back shortly. All right. She heads off, and you can see she's working the tables. There's not as many staff as one would think for the amount of people. They seem a little understaffed for the amount of folk that are here.
What was the name of the inn? I'm sorry, Colin.
This is
The
the
place you're
Yawning
in, it's
Dog.
called the Yawning Dog.
Yawning dog. Thank you.
Yep. So you are watching the band, and like I said, they've got the dance floor packed. They seem to be quite popular. There's 5 of them up there, and it looks to be like there are 3 guys and a couple of girls, playing various instrumentation, drums and pipes and such.
Nightingale will pay close attention to the females to see if he can figure out who is the Penumbra Bard.
Well, I thought
Give us
Penumbra
a
bards were masked.
They just have to hide their identity. They don't need to always be wearing a mask.
All right, give us a perception check. You are fairly certain that one of the 2 girls is likely the one you're looking for. She has her face hidden by a scarf, and yeah, you're fairly certain just watching her that she is likely the one that you're looking for.
Corvus, are you a dancer?
Why are you asking me to dance?
Sure.
Are you trying to make me jealous, Nightingale?
I think he's trying for a 3-way.
Well, if you guys aren't up to dancing, I may dance myself. Nightingale will unhook his shoulder bag, slide it over next to Corvus. Can you please keep an eye on this, Corvus? And then he'll get up and dance out into the crowd.
Unfortunately, they have stopped playing.
Oh, how awkward. Shit. Okay.
The band is, placing their instruments away and such. The dance floor is fanning out through the establishment and taking their positions around the table. And you see sort of standing at the front of the stage is the one of the 2 girls that you sort of presumed is likely Ren. And she's scanning the room, and then she kind of zones in on you and heads off the stage and makes her way kind of through the crowd over towards your table. Your waitress shows up and dishes out your drinks just as presumably Ren arrives at the table, and she looks kind of around, and she looks at Nightingale and says, "May I be seated?"
You may. Can I get you anything to drink?
She turns to the waitress and says, "Beth, I will have the usual. Thank you." She takes a seat, and she looks kind of at the 3 of you and turns to Nightingale and, "Are we okay to speak, Nightingale?"
That all depends what we need to speak about, my dear. If these are If my companions make it difficult, we can speak privately. Otherwise, they're good men. Some of them.
If they are friends of yours, they are friends of mine.
I should go then.
Yeah, perhaps you should, you big oaf. Been drinking goat's milk all night, and trust me.
You can't get far enough away.
No, please, speak freely, dear.
I wish, as I said in my letter, I really do need your assistance with something.
One of my eyebrows shoots up at this, looking quizzically at Corvus, or at Nightingale.
Well, let me see now. I have a lot to tell you.
I'm all
There,
ears.
and she looks around a little bit to see if anyone in the tavern is paying any attention to you, and she leans in a little bit on the table and she says, I am stationed here at Whalespell to keep an eye on things, and anything that may be of interest to the Penumbra Bards, I will pass back to those back in Elegon. Recently, there were two sisters who came to the Yawning Dog to watch one of the performances. During the night, I got to know the sisters fairly well, and their story was quite interesting to me. It seems that it's hard to explain exactly, but the sisters told me a story. They are from the Sea of Sand, quite some distance from here, and several months ago, the sisters purchased gems. They are known as sunstones. Quite common to their region. They didn't think much about it. They purchased them and made amulets out of them as a gift to the sisters. And one day, the sunstone amulets, they adhered themselves to the girls' chests. They could not remove them. And soon the two of them found themselves pulled into traveling to Whalespell. They are both quite scared, unsure, but unable to fight this urge to travel to Whalespell. I spoke with the sisters several days afterwards, and they just did not understand what it was that pulled them here, that kept them here in Whalespell. I had a young street urchin that works for me when I need it. Keep an eye on the sisters. And one night, they just left their accommodations and wandered out to an old mill house about an hour outside of Whalespell. And they disappeared inside. The boy came back and explained the whole story to me. I made my way out there the very next day, and what I encountered there scared me deeply. There are creatures of the undead out there, and I fear what has happened to the sisters. I cannot take on these creatures by myself. I need your assistance, Nightingale, and hopefully those of your companions.
Nightingale will rub the chin of his mask for a few moments, taking this all in. Drinking a bit of his brandy, he'll look over to the group. Well, lads, I might order for you from time to time and other things, but I can't force you to help us out in this situation. It's up to you. Myself, as a penumbra bard, I must help those of my order and guild in need.
I'm of the opinion that the undead should be wiped from the land. But is there not some local authorities that can take care of this?
That is a fair question, but I do not understand what this is about, and I fear if I go off to the city authorities, first I could blow my cover here in Whalespell, and second, I wonder if they wouldn't look at me as quite insane.
I'll agree with Corvus that the undead have no place in this world. But, Nightingale, you did me a solid getting me to Whalespell. And you helped me find Ferric and Dawn that got me to the Citadel. So I owe you. So lead the way. I'll lend what help I can. Something tells me I might be of use against undead.
Well, I do appreciate that, Douglan. And Corvus, I would agree normally with you about sending this to authorities around Whalespell, but sometimes a more subtle approach is a better way to get to the bottom of things, I've found. So maybe a smaller group, less flashy than guards, might be able to figure out what's going on and get to the bottom of it.
So, are we in agreement then that you will help me?
Of course, Ren. You have our service.
Well then, based upon what I saw, I do not wish to go there at night. Might I suggest we leave at first light then?
How far away did you say it was again?
It's
It
an
is,
hour
it's
out
only
of
an
the city.
hour out of town.
Are you
Along
coming
the
with us?
coastline, it should be easy to reach for us.
Good luck on our favor, Corvus. We might only be a few hours behind schedule.
Get the horses on our way out? Or are we coming back?
Would we need horses, Ren, to get there?
No, it's more of a footpath out to this old mill.
Then we'll return to Whalespell to pick up the horses, Corvus. Ren, is there anything else you can tell us about these sunstones and these medallions these poor girls had adhered to their chests?
I'm sorry I know no more about them than they did. They simply bought these sunstones from a traveling merchant. They made them into amulets. They were wearing them around their necks for weeks. And then just suddenly one day they showed me the stone itself just embedded itself into their chests and they could not remove it.
And after that, they were compelled to go to Whalespell.
They were compelled to come here. As one of the sisters explained, they did not even know what here was. They ran away. They stowed away on a ship, several different ships, they eventually found their way here over several months of travel.
I don't know, Corvus or Douglan, if you're familiar, but the Sea of Sand is east of Easterly.
I've only heard rumor.
It seems these girls have come quite the way.
Well, I suggest we get a good night's sleep. Meet up at first light.
Agreed. Ren, where shall we rendezvous? Outside the city? That way your cover's kept covered?
Yes, that does sound reasonable, and she proceeds to explain how you can find your way to the path. It heads off east of Whalespell along the coastline. It's just a footpath that about an hour outside of town comes upon an old farmstead, an old mill house, where she saw the creature.
Okay. We will, tell her we'll meet her and then begin the trek back to Fenrix.
Okay, so you pay up your tab, which we'll say is a couple of gold pieces for the drinks you had.
I'll take it
Whoever
out
wants.
of
Mithris's pockets?
Mithris's coffers, yes.
Good old Mithris paying for a round.
That raven does have deep pockets. And you head back. When you get back to Ferric and Dawn's, they're not back yet, but you make up your beds and head off to sleep. At some point in the wee hours, Ferric and Dawn come stumbling in and make their way to their beds. By the smell of the alcohol on them, they're both 3 times 3 sheets to the wind.
Nice.
And at first light, you wake up and you pack up your stuff. Ferric and Dawn are both sleeping it off. They won't be up for quite some time. You make your way. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, if before Pops there gets out of bed, Douglan, Nightingale will wake up Corvus and ask him to speak with him privately outside. May I have a word with you, sir?
What do you want?
Nightingale will kind of usher. Was there like a little deck or something in this building?
Yep. Yeah, they have a very large deck. They're sort of, we'll call it the penthouse suite of this.
Nice.
Of this complex.
Nightingale will take Corvus out onto the deck.
I hope you don't plan on serenading me.
No. I think it's something that you will be very interested in, my friend. I don't like the arrangement we have any more than you, Corvus. And I'd like to offer you a let's call it an arrangement for now. I'm willing to offer you your freedom in exchange for a bit of companionship, sort of speak. I'm a bit hesitant to let you go free. In all honesty, Corvus, Now, I'm going to count on your discreetness in this, because if you're not, I'll kill you. It's that simple. But there may be a bit of my past that isn't happy with me. And having you around, Corvus, offers me a bit of security, if you know what I mean. You're big, you're flashy. People don't come up to me when you're around. Must be that bubbly personality you
People
have.
came up to you before me?
See, there it is, that bubbly personality. Yes. Well, what say you? Would you be interested in maybe a bit of service for freedom?
Give me the ring and I will stay with you for... Well, how long will it take you to resolve this issue?
Well, let's... for one thing, I'm not going to give you the ring. You've already stated to us that all you want to do is get back to the wilds. But
No.
if you...
You either trust me or you do not. You claim not to like this arrangement. Well, there's a simple way to get around it.
Yes, but I'm not a fool either, Corvus.
I
can't-
honor any...
How am I supposed to trust your word when you don't trust mine?
Why should I trust yours if you're just going to force me? You pretend to give me choice.
It's a good point. It's a good point. Well, how about common ground then? I will give the ring to Douglan. But unknowingly, I'll slip it in one of his pouches. That way, I don't have it, you don't have it. Someone we know will be with us will have it. That way, we're both at the mercy of each other, so to speak. Would that be okay?
No, I do not like it. I'm still slave. I
Yes,
still
but
have no choice.
you do. Listen, I'm giving you the choice of freedom. Get over the fact you've been a slave. We've all had hardships.
So, I have freedom, but I can't go and do what I want. How does
You will
work?
get your freedom once you escort me to... One moment, I need to bring up the map. Evendor. Back to the vineyards with Douglan. Once we're there, you can go wherever your heart desires.
Give me the ring and I will escort you to Devonward. Evendor, you got my word.
That word again, a word of a slave to a slave master. How am
The
I
word
supposed...
of a person.
Oh,
a man.
now you're a person, but I'm always been a slave master. Give me a break, man. We're between a rock and a hard place, clearly.
You rail against your slave master status out of one side of your mouth, but the other side you maintain it.
I told you why I'm maintaining it.
If you dislike it, I give you my word that I will escort you to this place. And do everything in my power to keep you safe while I do so. But if you are honest in your discomfort,
well, I guess in this circumstance, one of us has to take a leap of faith. And Nightingale will slip the finger off and hand it to... Or not the finger, the ring. Oh,
Wow,
shit, I
that's-
guess I could have
that's-
just taken the ring off.
That's dedication. Cuts the finger off with the ring.
I will give the ring to Corvus. Now, you gave me your word. You will stay with us until Evendor.
I take the ring.
How do I give it to him, Colin?
Can
throw
you
the party
see
sheet?
all the You just drag it from your sheet onto his sheet. Up towards the top left there, can you see the characters?
Yeah.
Yeah, just drag it onto his character, and it'll
Okay.
go into his inventory.
That work? Do you have it in your inventory? I still see it in mine though. Wouldn't it disappear? Or does
Maybe
it
try putting it in the party sheet.
Yeah, I think it's the party sheet.
Okay, I will do
then-
that.
You pick it up.
Yeah,
there.
that's true. It may need to...
There you go.
make
It's in the
way
party
through
sheet.
There you go.
Now, as I said before, Corvus, it was
Nothing
never my...
happens when I take it?
Sorry?
Does anything happen when I take it?
Nothing.
Do I notice anything different?
Nothing different.
Your head explodes off your shoulders. Oh, crap.
No, that I was a little hesitant.
The slave can never touch the slave ring.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking was a very definite possibility.
You just begin to implode in yourself. Oh, God, I'll take it back. I'll take it back. Sorry.
I
Now-
put it in my pouch.
All right. You have it.
Nightingale will look at him a bit longer for a moment and be like, I hope you understand, Corvus. I never did enjoy this arrangement. It was merely for self-preservation.
Thank you, Nightingale. I will keep my word. Promise.
I hope so. Now, as I said before, a little discreetness between you and I. Douglan needs to know nothing. And we shall carry on our way. I'll go get the fat man up. And I'll go wake up Douglan.
So rude.
Come on, Pops, get up. It's time to go.
You guys have heard him snoring the whole time, like through at least 3 rooms. He's had a little bit to drink. You know how that is.
That's all it takes.
Yep.
Sounds like a hibernating bear.
Even Corvus is like, who snores like that? All right, you assemble your equipment and quietly depart from Ferric and Dawn's. You make your way through town and find the pathway where Ren described to you, and Ren is there just sort of sitting on a rock, munching on what looks like might be her breakfast.
We'll approach.
All right. She says, well, are you all ready to go then?
As ready as I think we'll ever be, Ren.
So the pathway is, it looks like at one point it was probably wider than it is now. It's grown back over the years into just a footpath. But you can kind of tell at one point there was probably some sort of cart traffic that made its way back and forth on this path, but not for many years, based on the fact that it's grown back into, still looks like people may use it as a footpath to walk along the coastline. So off to your right hand sides is the rolling ocean. Off to your left hand side is varying degrees of cliff side. Now all of this cliff side, you wouldn't have to be much of a climber to make your way through up to the upper cliffs. You can see little pathways that people have taken to get up there.
Yeah, it's not a sheer cliff.
It's not a sheer cliff, exactly. So you make your way along the coastline, much as Ren promised. It takes you not quite an hour or so. At one point, you kind of come around some rocks, and Ren stops the party, and she points just off in the distance on a little plateau area, an area that you can tell probably would have caught really good wind or catches good wind. You can see just the top part of an old mill house. There's only one of mill pane that's left, that's slowly circling around in the wind. You can see the stubs and the nubs of the other panes that were on this large windmill at one point. The old mill house itself is run down but not falling apart. Wanting for maintenance, but in no way, shape, manner, or form is a wreck of a building. Still definitely looks like a place that someone could be staying at.
Nightingale will kind of put his hand on Ren and be like, "Just a moment, Ren. Corvus, do you think Mithras would be able to give us a little bird's eye view? Make sure we're not surprising anyone?"
Do not forget, I do not speak with him like me and you talk. Maybe I should just go and scout.
Are you okay with that, Ren?
Absolutely. If he wants to go and check this out, it's better than me.
I
I
agree.
will go. This is what I do.
Okay. Nightingale will pull out his short bow just so that, stay within eye shot. Don't get too far off on your own.
You'll be able to watch, you're probably a couple of 100 feet from where the path comes up onto the plateau, and you'll be able to see Corvus the entire time, and as he makes his way. You're gaining a bit of altitude up to this plateaued area.
Okay, we'll hold our ground here, I guess.
I will sneak down.
Give us a stealth check, Mr. 16. All right, Corvus, you make your way along the path, and then as you get where the path makes its final little push up, there's a couple of rocks on either side that you're able to make your way up on. You get up to where you can see across this plateaued area. There are 3 dilapidated buildings. Clearly, they at one point look like they may have been a home, some sort of shed and a barn. All of those buildings, the roofs are gone, parts of the walls have fallen down. They show no sign of upkeep whatsoever. The mill house itself is still standing. From where you are, you cannot see the doorway into this old mill house. Right in sort of front of you is the one panel that's left, that's slowly circling. A lot of the fabric is missing, so even with the amount of wind that's blowing at it, it just circles very slowly. But what immediately catches your eye is there is a person that's just slowly kind of wandering back and forth around the mill house. Your immediate sort of thoughts of this person, Corvus, is that they took one world-class shit-kicking. How they're even still standing is beyond you. Your gut feeling is this thing is likely undead.
Okay, I will sneak back and explain to them what I saw. There is what appears to be an undead of some kind shambling out front, walking back and forth. I could not see anything else.
Well, I think now's a good time to be honest with everyone. I've never come to blows with undead. Anyone got any pointers?
Can I make a nature check to see what I know about them?
About undead? Absolutely, you can.
I am proficient in nature. I rolled a 2.
You're fairly certain that they are not dead, but kind of dead,
I know
But
nothing
not-
about them either.
but not dead.
Great help. How about you, Douglan? You're a bit of a church fella.
To be honest with you, I've never really faced undead, although something tells me you might want me in the lead here. The amulet starts to get a little warm, but nothing more than that. And so, switching hats to more tactical. Perhaps if we could grab his attention, we can lure him to us. That way, if there's others inside, they will know instead of rushing up to him.
Well,
I could have Mithras lure him here. He's a good mimic.
it's worth a try.
I think that's a great idea.
All right, well then let's get ready. Is there like a good place to ambush?
Feel like a tree line.
Or
anything.
just off the trail.
The area. So the trail kind of wanders along, with cliffside to your left, drop offs into the ocean on your right. As you get close to where the old mill house is, it turns toward, so the cliff backs off quite a ways to create that plateau where the old mill house is. As you get within about 50 feet of the mill house, you're down maybe 10 feet or so from the level of the plateau. You walk up sort of the trail, takes a bit of an uphill, and those rocks and stuff are there in the front that Corvus hid behind. When you walk up onto that plateau, there is maybe on that plateau a half dozen sparse little trees around it. The plateau area is maybe 100-ish feet, sort of in a rough diameter around. It is wide open between the top of the trail and the buildings, including the old mill house.
Well, I guess we could just lure it to where I was hiding.
Yeah.
Just down below the
Just
plateau.
yeah, as soon as we can get it
We
out
want
of
it just away
rain,
from
yeah.
the mill house as far as possible, because if others come, at least we have some warning.
Yeah. So once we get to cover, I will signal Mithras to go over, and how he would have done it in the past is he'd mimic laughter.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, fly a little ways, stop, mid laughter again, fly a little way until he brings him to us.
All right.
That's got to be a
Mithras.
creepy thing.
Head flies over it. It's quite windy, so it's more of a glide than a fly. Like literally when Mithras jumps up, just gliding in the wind coming off the ocean, and gets close, drops down, starts mimicking the laughter, and this creature just kind of starts lumbering over towards where it heard the laughter, and it's kind of looking around, just and Mithras is doing a fantastic job of luring it towards you.
I'll be honest
make-
with you, Corvus. I didn't think that was going to work. That bird's brilliant.
Ye of little faith. And I have a arrow notched and ready to draw. It's out of sight when the shambler gets out of sight of the mill.
All right, it's lumbering along towards you. And just 1 second.
Don, Ferric, I'm so glad you decided to join us in the combat tracker.
Well, we'll
They're
remove
with
them
us.
in just a sec.
A bit of hungoverness doesn't hurt anybody.
Oh no,
They're
they'll be
with us. I
fine.
can feel it.
They're with us in spirit, if not body.
So this thing just looks like a human, but beat up.
Yeah,
From what you could tell.
from what you could see, it's just in. It looks like a human that just really took a serious beating.
Had a rough night.
Indeed. Okay, that takes us to. Okay, let me add a few of my favorite friends onto this map.
Just one. It's okay.
Hundreds.
Are you sharing the
Just
map?
see-
I don't see.
Oh, you don't
Alright,
got the
I
map?
just-
Oh.
Oh, just give me a second. You don't have the map? Everyone else has got it.
If I were you, I wouldn't have been standing where you were. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Ren should be the one in front.
Yeah.
Now,
77 hit points.
So
Are you
we-
sure we're not a little under your class, my dear?
Hey, combined, we got her beat though. No, we don't. Well, if we include the bird.
even with the bird, still only 75.
Damn it.
okay, I'm going to place all of you on the map that I'm going to share. I only have so much ground area on the map. When you see the map, you're all going to be on the very edge of it, but you are down and hidden from this zombie that is walking towards you. Okay. Everybody get the map okay?
Yep.
I got the map.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the
We're all
map.
thinking that from Thora.
Speaking of Dora,
Yep.
okay, yeah, so I've just lined the 5 of you up at the bottom of the map there because that's where the map sort of ends. But you are down from where this this zombie is rambling along, giving chase to Mithras, laughing. I will.
What does its laugh sound like? It's Douglan's laugh. Got it.
No, Douglan laughs like Ed McMahon. Oh, Jimmy.
That's perfect.
I love it. Everything I would expect. Okay, Ren has the initiative. And
Are we gonna
as
roll?
this thing... did you guys not roll?
No.
Oh,
Not yet.
my apologies. You all roll for initiative.
Now's my 20. Good lord.
Oh. Silly me to think that Ren had the initiative.
Well, at least I beat the bird and the zombie.
I'm going to ready a slice and dice action. I'm going to hold my ground. We're not 25 feet away, though, right? As you said.
No.
So you are the distance you see on the map.
Okay.
Just envision the fact that where you guys are, you're down from out of sight from this zombie that is rambling towards you.
Okay. No, I'm gonna.
So although it looks like you're in visual range of this thing, it can't see you right now.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna ready a chop action officially.
Their chop action?
Oh, it's even
It's-
better
it's-
than the attack action.
Yes. When you have a halberd that is
Yeah.
taller than yourself, you get the chop action.
All right.
Call me the Swedish chef.
So Douglan, you're gonna ready in action.
That is correct.
All right. That takes us to Ren. Ren notches an arrow in her longbow, and you all have just barely can see as you're peeking around the rocks, and that she jumps up and lets an arrow go at this creature. She hits it. The arrow jams in through its throat. Should be a death shot if it wasn't already dead.
Good one.
All right, it's got this arrow now stuck through its throat, and it's still just completely unaffected, just rambling towards the sound that it hears from Mithras.
The Nightingale looks over at Corvus.
Dear God, it's still walking with an arrow in its throat.
Corvus, son of Murtok, what say
as my-
you?
Bonus action, I am going to cast Hunter's Mark on it,
All right.
and then I'm going to shoot it with my bow.
Somebody
I will
went up a
stand
level.
and do the same. Yeah, I'll stand to do the same thing that Ren just did.
Oh, nice. Damn. All right, Corvus, your arrow jams straight through where its heart should be, just sitting there with about 4 inches of the shaft sticking out of its chest, and it keeps... It almost seems unaware it's being shot by arrows. It's just moving towards the sound it heard. That's it for you, Corvus?
Yep, I get back down so
Nightingale.
I'm out of sight again.
Nightingale sitting there with his short bow, and he's like,
Are we sure this is doing anything at all?
he'll pop up and pluck off an arrow at the creature.
Perhaps we should be killing it with fire.
Aim for the
One.
brain, lads. Everybody knows that.
There we go.
Waiting with bated breath
Sorry,
for you
sorry.
to fire this arrow.
Sorry.
He's
When I
really
was-
lining it up.
Yeah. When I was putting stuff in my inventory, I did something and my bow was being carried and not worn. So
To
yes.
take 2 arrows out of my inventory.
Have some.
You connect. All right. Nightingale's arrow pierces through its stomach and is just sticking out of its side. You can see the arrow tip out of the back, and again, it appears completely unaware and uncaring of the fact that it is being shot by arrows. It continues just to lumber along towards you all.
Nightingale ducks down again and looks to Ren. He's like,
Are we sure we can actually kill something that's already dead?
She turns to her and goes, "Well, we'll know soon enough."
Doesn't make me feel any better, but
Mithras.
Mithras just flies out of danger, gets out of the way, and then does nothing else. Just takes
Ready.
the dodge action. Yeah, he's staying out of combat.
The dodge action is always a good action to take.
Yep.
All right. Our zombie friend. Continues moving towards you along this pathway. In case you're not familiar with its sound, it's... for those of you in the back... And that takes us back to Douglan McKay. Douglan, what say you?
Douglan's like, don't know why, but I think we've got to take its head off. I'll be right back, lads. And he goes there.
Behind the bush.
And he takes it, he kind of twirls it once over his head and just aims right above the shoulders.
He likes to
You
showboat.
connect with your halberd.
Yep, you definitely have to aim for the neck.
Its head goes flying off, and the body just stands there for a couple of seconds, and then just falls backwards onto the ground.
We loosen the jar.
May you find a rest, you filth.
Nightingale will kind of come up to the body and have a look at it, see if he can make out anything. Was this somebody from Whalespell? Like, does this look like it was buried fresh? What do we got going on here?
Give us an investigation check.
What can I glean from this body?
he was a white male, 35 pounds, 6 feet, lived in a small town, grew up next to a farm.
Circumcised.
Circumcised.
Your perception of this, what's left of this creature is, it was likely buried. You know, there are maggots crawling all through the body. Its hands, the fingers, the flesh are torn from them, like it dug itself out of the dirt to get to the ground, to get out. You know, you definitely feel like this cadaver was buried at some point.
He'll just relay that information.
I don't know if it helps anyone, but this one must have crawled its way out of a grave.
I look at Ren. Is there graveyards near here?
Not near here, but there are several graveyards in and around Whalespell where such bodies could be found.
Douglan's gonna say, let me approach the door a little bit. I don't know why, but I think I might tell if there's more inside.
Well, you'll not go without me beside you. We'll let the 2 expert archers cover us.
I'm going to go about 10 feet from... That's the door, right? Right where the brick, the cobblestones end?
Correct.
Oh, there we go. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to go 10 feet. Is the door open or closed?
The door is closed.
Let me read my spell again, because I think a closed door...
Yeah, it's full cover behind a
There you
closed
go.
door.
Yeah, all right. So, everybody in position. I was going to open the door and then take a step back.
Maybe I'll go here. I'll probably give me a better angle to shoot anything.
Are you checking the door, Douglan?
Yes.
I don't think you'll hear anything with this wind, but
I actually wasn't. I was just going to open it and take a step back.
sounds good.
So, I'm here. And then... Now I'm going to stay right there. And then I'm going to...
Okay, just
yeah.
hang tight.
Oh, you said you're gonna stay there. Big mistake.
Uh-oh. Busted.
Colin's got to unveil the 500 zombies crammed in this tube of dead flesh.
It's the windmill of never-ending zombies.
Yeah, just pumps them out.
Yeah.
The power of Christ compels you. The power of Christ
Okay,
compels you.
do you want me to open the door then, Douglan?
Yeah, no, I definitely did.
Okay.
Meaning, I thought I did. It was visible for a moment there now. Yeah, there we go.
So, inside, as you open the door, you immediately catch a glance of 2 zombies that are standing just inside of the doorway.
Hello. So, can I attack?
We go straight into the combat. Now, I will let you move, because you did say that that was what you were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will roll for initiative.
Okay. So yeah,
So
I was
move
gonna,
whatever you have
Yeah.
left of movement.
I'm gonna go back 10, and I'm gonna yell out, "There's more of these filth in there."
All right, everyone roll for initiative, please.
But I liked my other one so much.
Of course
look
you
at that.
Ooh,
20.
Look at that. Corvus crushing it.
Nicely
I
done.
guess we know who has the initiative. Corvus, son of Murtok, you have the initiative.
Okay, I am going to move here. And then I am going to... Talking myself through the steps here. I get to cast, as my bonus action, Hunter's Mark. And plug him with an arrow. Register?
Nope. I
Yeah, 17
attack.
you hit.
Yep, you hit.
Yep.
You hit the zombie. Yep.
Didn't show up for me for some reason.
If it's a zombie.
Hmm.
This is a local variety known as a zombie.
The zombie. The Jamaican zombie.
They're from France, huh?
Zombie.
All right, Corvus, you launch an arrow, and it thunk, sticks right through its temple or right through its forehead, and it just looks like it starts lumbering towards you. That's it for you, Corvus?
I'm gonna take my remaining steps and just go back here for more distance.
Understood. Mithras, what are you doing, you raven, you?
He is going to fly over here and take the ready action and then distract any zombie that actually comes out.
Ren is going to... As she's making her way over to here, she puts away her bow, pulls out her short sword, and prepares to... So she's going to ready an action to enter behind Douglan if he enters into the building. Nightingale.
Nightingale shall follow suit, putting his short bow, kind of puts his short bow around him, draws his short bow, short sword. That's a tongue twister and a half. And I'll take perch at the side of the door, and he'll look to Douglan and be like, "We've got your back, Douglan."
It's my front I'm worried about.
Ah, a stick as big as yours would be hard for them to get even close.
The zombies are that way. They're not that way.
All right.
Well, if you want the bards to go in first, it'll be quite the tale to tell later.
I'm not vain, lad.
You cannot see, but you hear kind of through the door and off to the right, you hear the familiar sound of the coming towards the doorway.
And Douglan can hear Nightingale singing to himself,
Brave, brave Sir Douglan, he put the bards in the way.
He put the bards in the way. Douglan, what say you?
So Douglan takes his halberd and puts it on Nightingale's back and shovels him forward. No.
You deserve that.
Douglan. Now, is 13 5 feet away? Is that, or is he down? Is he still down the stairs a little?
No, they're on a flat deck there.
Okay.
13 and so the gear works you see are up in the air.
Mm-hmm.
They're about 10 feet above you guys, so they're just on that open wooden deck there.
Okay, so he is. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop here. I don't want to go all the way in. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to stop right there, and I'm going to ready an action. I don't want to get within 5 feet and lose my advantage, so I'm going to ready a slice chop action, I think we called it.
All right. Ready a chop. Zombie 11. Okay, I
So-
believe he would be. So here's the thing. Well, so he's walking through a doorway,
Mm-hmm.
so you can't really full out like swing down upon it. You said a chop action. You readied an action. You could, jab through the doorway at this thing as it comes at you.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to take my stabby stab on number 11.
You connect.
decent rolls tonight.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
You jinxed
Way to
it.
curse. Way to curse the shit out of that one.
Yeah. I'm going
good
to
at
hold
that.
off on
Good
the
at
Divine Smite, although it probably would take it out. I don't have many spell slots, so. Alrighty, that is my ready to action turn. Thank you.
All right. The zombie moves forward another step and starts just trying to tear into Douglan with its full body weight and force, slamming into you.
Nightingale, you didn't ready in action?
It so missed you.
I put my weapon away, so that was my. I didn't
Yeah, it
just
was the
drop
same
it.
thing with Ren. Ren swapped weapons. That was
Copy
her action. All right. It just comes clamoring and banging against your armor. Douglan, it is all up in your grill. Corvus, son of Murtok.
Well, I can't shoot him anymore.
Everybody got all up in your way
Yeah,
there.
everybody got in the way. And I can't really even attack him because everybody's kind of in the way. So, yeah, I'll just take the ready action.
Okay, and what's your trigger?
Trigger is if somebody comes into view, I will shoot him. So, like, you know, if he drops Douglan or Douglan
If you
moves.
get a fair shot at anyone, you'll take it?
Yeah,
Okay.
By anyone, you mean zombies, correct?
yes.
No, he
Just
means
the
anyone.
Just checking, you know, make sure, you know.
Just arrow in the back of Nightingale's head will seal the deal.
Don't think I haven't thought about it.
Mithras.
Is there room for him to go in and distract the zombie 11 so that the next attacker gets advantage?
I as long as it's within his movement to get over top of where Douglan is and back again, I will say yes. I don't know what Mithras' movement is.
He's got 50 fly, so it's...
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if you place Mithras just behind Douglan, I will say that he has made his basically whoever attacks the zombie next will get the
gets
advantage.
yeah.
He does a projectile bird poo, just right at the right
right in the eyes. Well,
Hey, that sounds like a very
that's
very
perfect.
sound strategy.
Yeah.
And that way he's not within melee range.
And it sounds like that next person will be Ren.
Ooh, yeah. Come on,
Ren
man.
takes her first attack against the zombie.
Oh, fancy.
Which did-
Multiple
which
attack.
Did
Ooh.
not seem to work. There we go. All right. Her first attack hits. Takes a good slice through him, which the zombie seems completely oblivious to. Her second attack also hits. And she drops the creature.
Beginning to think that she could have come here by herself.
I'm in love.
Nightingale.
Can I see anything of threat from where I am? Nope.
I'm going to say, Nightingale, you can hear a creature, a threat coming around the corner. But you
Then-
cannot see anything.
I will, not being as foolhardy as normal, will ready an action so that if something's dead and fleshy steps in the doorway, I'll stab it.
Well, there's something dead and fleshy right in front of you.
But that's double dead.
Not moving.
I'm looking for singularly dead. still moving. Animated death flesh is what I'm looking to stab.
All right. Animated death flesh. Gotcha.
Yep.
Looking to stab.
So you ready in action, Doug? Oh, sorry, not Douglan yet. Well, stepping around the corner.
Now I can do it. Yes.
Now you can do
I
it.
like how he stepped around the corner and waits. Douglan, it's your turn to hit me.
I know, he's like waiting there. Okay, get it over with, would you?
No, that was as far as he could move on his first round.
Ah.
It wasn't waiting. That was maxed out movement. They only move 20 feet.
Oh, there we go.
Oh,
nice.
Nicely done.
It comes up the stairs and then just like,
Absolute carnage.
just foam.
You carve it wide open down the chest. What's left of its innards are now hanging out. It's not dead though.
Mhm.
But it is. But it isn't.
It may be quickly as it is taking a step forward and slamming its slimy guts and all into Douglan as it attempts to.
Am I able to get my attack in?
You sure are.
Excellent.
Excelsior.
Hits.
You hit.
And being as I have a comrade, I can get my sneak attack in. What happened there?
It says you have your sneak attack effect.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, snake eyes. Woohoo!
Oh, man.
Dark one's eyes.
It's a good solid hit, but I pierced through a dangly bit of flesh on its left kneecap. Doesn't really seem to do much.
It's because he's too disgusted. He's like, eh,
Oh God!
Ew.
Look at its guts hanging out.
you are disgusting, son.
Yeah,
Disgusting.
you're fighting like this, Nightingale. Oh.
You have a handkerchief? You have a beautiful
Oh, but
stick
no,
handkerchief.
guys, come on. There's a other bard. I'm not
Oh yeah,
covering.
he's got to look heroic right now. Yeah, exactly.
I'm totally okay with this. This is nothing major to me. Very experienced, you know.
The whole time you're dry heaving.
Yeah, thank God I got a mask on.
I just threw up in my mouth.
Yeah. Actually,
All
it'd be
right.
gross if I
In the
threw up.
meantime, our
Spraying
zombie
down.
friend is going to get his attack against Douglan.
Sorry, Douglan, I tried to kill it. Again.
Or more.
Ooh, it hits. Oh, this will be the end of Douglan for sure. Oh.
Oh,
It slams into you with a fair amount of force, Douglan.
its intestines are hanging from your arm.
There is zombie guts all over your armor now.
So now you're
Just
like,
cleaned it.
gross.
Just cleaned it. Douglan, what do you got to say about that?
Yeah, after taking a fetid hand with the nails all yellow, just like, oh, God, it burns more than anything. He takes his halberd and he does an uppercut with the back of the blade right up through the crotch.
Oh, nice. Filet mignon.
Oh, yeah!
Oh, yes! Nice! Nice!
You just split it in half, dude.
Oh, goodness.
Yep, put a stamp on that.
It was like, God.
It just carves into two pieces that flop down on either side.
I was gonna say, it
Hopefully
explodes like
without
a rotten
anybody
tomato.
noticing, Nightingale's pushing the piece away from him so it doesn't fall on him.
Oh, man. Oh, he's like, oh, that stings.
Move in, Doug. We got this door plugged.
All right.
All right, there's a couple of dead zombies piled in the doorway that you have to step over. But you're able enter, Douglan. So you're in what is clearly an old mill house, exactly as Ren described. It you know, your immediate perception of the place is, at one point, this was likely an operational milling house. You're on the main floor here. There's all this gear works above you, with that slow turning of the one blade that's left out there. The gears are still slowly turning, grinding and winding above you. But beyond the rolling ocean outside and the wind, you do not hear anything else inside as you enter into the mill house here.
So, if do I see a distinct upward staircase and a downward staircase?
Correct. So, what we'll call to the north, there is a staircase that goes down, and to the south, there is a staircase that goes up.
Seeing that these are undead, perhaps let's cover the upstairs first. Make sure there's nothing up there. So I'm gonna start heading up.
The south staircase goes up.
Correct.
Okay.
When I go inside, I shoulder my bow and take out my spear.
Douglan, as you come around the corner, there is a zombie coming down the stairs towards you. You may be unfamiliar with their song. It sounds like...
We've got company again.
All right. Let's roll for initiative once again, shall we all?
Okay. I'm gonna go pee.
Combat beat.
Oh gosh.
Hopefully we're still good from the last time.
Oh, about time I get a good
Oh, nice.
initiative. Oh, but not as good as
Big
Mithras.
rolls there,
Mithras'
man.
turn, yeah.
That Raven has got it going on.
Yeah. He's on fire.
All right, we have all rolled. And Mithras, you crafty Raven, you have initiative.
Is there room enough in this building for him to fly in? Like, how high is the ceiling?
No. Well, so Corvus, within the structure itself, you know, it's fairly bolted up until you can see right up to the next floor. But it's all gear works up through that vaulted space.
Yeah,
A
space
little
there.
dangerous to be flying about.
So he's just gonna land on Corvus's shoulder and take the dodge action.
Sounds good. You can just, for future, you can leave Mithras there until it leaves Corvus's shoulder.
Okay.
Nightingale. So you have heard Douglan say there are more. Or we've got company, I believe is what he said.
Now, there looks like there's debris here, but am I able to kind of get up on it type thing?
You can get into that space, yeah. You can
Okay.
basically jump onto that debris.
Nightingale kind of comes over, gets behind Douglan, looks around him, sees the zombie, and calls out,
You don't frighten me, you overgrown devil sausage full of maggots and guts. Blah!
Oh,
vicious mockery.
he is a man of words, for sure.
Oh, yes.
I
I
was
just
gonna say,
roasted
silver
him.
tongue.
The zombie is unimpressed. Ooh.
That's a good one.
Why is
That's
there
really
a
good.
X on him now?
I don't know.
He's viciously mockered.
Yeah, I think he has disadvantage, I think, on stuff.
Okay, that's the end of Nightingale's. I'll look to Douglan and be like, I think I really hurt its feelings.
Thought you did. You
That'll
have
be
a way
the
of
end of my
doing
turn.
that to people.
Corvus, what do you got?
I will. Can I get past Ren?
You can double your movement, but you can get by her.
There. That's 20, 25. I'm not going to be able to make it. So I'm going to just stop there. And if it moves within range, I will attack it.
All right.
It's a ready action.
The zombie moves down. Okay, Corvus, I will say you can now see it for the first time. You can take your readied action.
Well, no, if it gets within range, I guess I could shoot it.
You could throw a spear.
Yeah.
Sorry, I assumed you were talking with your bow.
Yeah. I was thinking I'd use my spear because it's such tight spaces. I didn't think I'd get a shot off. But yeah, I'll shoot it with my bow.
You're still within range of a spear, so...
Spear doesn't have extra range.
What's the range of a spear?
It has reach.
Oh, well, no, I read
Oh,
it.
you're not throwing it. You want to stab
Yeah,
him.
I don't like to throw my spear.
Okay, he's not in range then.
Yeah. But I could just drop it and use my bow, so that's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, okay. I don't know with 100% certainty you can do that with a readied action, but I'm going to say yes.
Oh, okay, well, we can look into it later.
Exactly. I'll
Yeah.
figure it out later. I'm going to say yes, you can.
Hit.
So
And that's
zombie 5 Colin attacks with disadvantage.
Okay. Why is that?
Vicious
He's
mockery.
He's feeling viciously
Oh yeah,
mockered.
I have hurt his feelings. You know,
Yeah.
like,
All right.
He didn't even
Yeah.
know he had any until he...
You never looked
Yeah.
so alive, my friend.
He's so depressed, he wishes he was dead.
yeah.
Oh, wait.
All right. Ren is going to take a step in beside Corvus.
Colin, not
Although-
that I want to get hit, but was the
You
zombie
missed your
going to
zombie.
attack?
Oh, thank you for that.
Yeah.
We're all like,
Oh, you know you want to be hit. Come on.
Yeah, Douglan is into that.
You masochist.
dead meat
All
slapping
right.
against you.
It slams into
Smack it.
it slams into Douglan, attempting to take you off your feet.
Remember, disadvantage.
I didn't viciously mock the dead thing for nothing.
Indeed.
Sweet.
Oh, it pulled a muscle.
Literally pulled it out. The muscle's just
Yeah,
hanging.
the muscle just tears away from the leg and is dangling there.
I'm going to have nightmares for weeks.
All right, it missed Douglan in a spectacular way. Ren will now move. Unable to do much to get an attack against the zombie. She still has her short sword out.
I wish to kill the undead and rid this world of this filth. Oh, wow.
You still hit.
I was going to say that's nice. And then comes back around and he just sort of goes, pop, pop. Like, he holds it in the middle, and since it's tight quarters, he uses like 1-2 punch. Uses the butt end.
You connect with the butt end of your halberd.
And you know, I'm going to go right here.
All right,
Also
the zombie has
zombies.
large chunks of flesh hanging off of it now since Douglan sliced and diced upon it. Mithras.
Dodge action. We're going to just say that that's
Nightingale.
pretty much what he does while we're in this tight space.
Absolutely. Nightingale.
Nightingale kind of flips his short sword so the blade's coming down here and tries to slice this thing's legs out from underneath it.
All right.
Actually, with the short sword, it's just piercing, so there's no slicing going on, just stabbing.
Just stabby stabby.
And because my ally is with me, I get a little bonus.
All right. You stab into this thing and it kind of just tears apart into 2 pieces, and its upper torso tears away from the lower torso, and it just falls into 2 large stinky chunks of flesh in front of you.
Then, using my move, I will move to there. Kind of, crawling over the body and all that. I took into account moving through difficult terrain and stuff, so as I'm sure blood gut-covered stairs aren't the easiest to navigate.
Especially when you're trying not to get it on the new leather.
It's hard to get guts out of tights, I tell you. And that's the end of Nightingale's turn.
All right.
Sorry, Douglan, I just didn't want the guts running down the stairs onto my feet.
Totally understand.
All right, you are now in the old mill house, having offed a couple of these undead creatures. Ahead of you, Nightingale, the stairs just continue to crawl up and around the building to, presumably based on what you can see the other way, to another floor that is up there.
Now that we've entered the building and I can kind of see how high the floors are, can I make a rough guesstimate of how many levels this would have? Like, are we looking at it?
There is likely just 1 more floor above you.
Douglan, what do you say me and you check it out and leave Corvus and Ren on this level to cover our backs?
All right. Lead the way.
Okay, Nightingale will begin to sneak up. I'm fine with it.
In that case, I'm going to move here and take aim at anything that comes up those stairs.
Perfect. And I will roll a stealth check to sneak up the stairs.
All right. Give us a stealther.
Quiet as a church bowl.
I'm coming! No one look for me!
Your boots still have like squishiness, like from all the blood and guts.
Yeah.
All right, Nightingale, I'm going to move. You can move how far?
I have a move of 30. Though I have a move of 30.
Okay, you are there.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I was like, where?
I see the. Got it.
Cool. Is
I mean,
that a window or door?
It is a window.
Is it fair to say that if I heard him, I would also go up, seeing as he's not being stealthy?
Well, he's trying to be stealthy.
Well, and I appreciate that, and I want him to feel good about himself, but I also don't want to leave him alone.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty fair you move up behind him.
Okay.
I'd hate to damage his self-esteem, but
Yeah. I didn't hear a thing, Nightingale. You were great.
So, Nightingale, the window looks out towards the cliffside of the building.
I'll have a quick peek out, see if I can see anything unusual.
Nope, you see what you saw before. From this window vantage, you can see the old house and the old barn, which I mentioned are basically falling apart. No roofs, the walls are caving in, and from there you just look off towards the cliffside.
Okay. Shall we move further up? Okay. I will attempt to be sneaky again since, Douglan patted my ego a little. It's not so bad.
See? You can do it.
However far I can go, Colin. That was 10 feet.
So, you can make it one more block, which I am going to take you to there.
Ooh.
So your head just comes up over, so that floor behind you, it's basically there. As you step around, you can see throughout the entire room. And within the room, you can see a man in robes who's facing the table, and he's doing something at a desk in the corner of the room there.
Nightingale will I shall. Yes, why not? Nightingale will. He now has a components pouch belt that goes across like a bandolier on him, and he'll reach in and he'll pull out a little bit of sand and cast sleep on him. The spell creates a magical slumber. I roll 5d8. The total shows how many hit points of creatures the spell can affect. The creature must be within 20 feet of the point I choose. The range is 90 feet, so I think I've got lots of room to work with. And as long as they're in the range, and then it affects them in ascending order from current hit points, ignoring unconscious creatures. Starting with a creature that has the lowest current hit points, each creature affected by the spell is unconscious until the end. The sleeper takes no damage, but falls asleep, and wakes up if it takes damage. So it doesn't seem to... They don't get a save.
Oh.
If I'm correct.
There's no save.
There's just no save.
Yeah,
I just
HP.
roll 5d8, which I'll do right now.
As long as you get its hit points or more, it'll fall asleep. If it's not an elf or half elf or
So if it has less than 18 hit points, it falls asleep.
It does not.
Fall asleep?
It does not fall asleep.
Okay. That's...
Fortunate.
And
It's a
then
good idea.
if I can, I will... Douglan, get over here. As quietly as possible. And that's the end of Nightingale.
Corvus?
Oh, we're still in this initiative?
Yeah, I'm going to
Okay.
keep going through at this initiative.
Now you keep-
Corvus, are you doing anything?
Well, I don't know what's going on upstairs, so I'm staying here ready to shoot anything that comes up the stairs.
Fair enough.
Unless I hear or know what's going on upstairs, but I don't think I would.
All right. The figure who is cloaked, sitting at the desk, he is sitting there, and he kind of stands up, and he turns towards Nightingale, looks down upon him. You can't see his face. His hood is drawn quite forward. He puts his hands within his robe, and he says to you,
Your attempt was quite lame. As I would assume, all of your friends are quite lame as well. What brings you to my abode?
Am I able to answer?
Yep.
Nightingale will be... No, I'll just...
We've come looking for two sisters. We have suspect to believe they are here.
Oh, you are quite right. They are here. And I could care little for them beyond this time. You have interrupted my experiment. But I have found out what it was that I came to find.
Well, Nightingale's talking to him. He's like trying to hand signal to get Douglan up here.
Well, I thought we were in initiative. I would, of course, be moving up. So whenever I'm allowed to, I will be coming up the stairs. And if we are no longer quiet, well, I'll wait for my turn, Colin.
Yeah.
I'll wait for my turn.
Yep, I'm going to advance the initiative to Ren, who is not going to change, much like Corvus, what she is doing. Takes us to Douglan. Douglan, you can hear Nightingale engaged in some sort of conversation with someone up above.
As he's walking up, he's going to yell down, "There's something that's got Nightingale spooked. Get your arses up here." And he's going to go up as far as he can, movement-wise.
Take a dash action.
Well, let's see where I get. Because if I still got,
What's your movement?
it's 30.
Okay, well,
30.
move yourself 30, or
5.
what you can.
That's to the edge of the map.
So then you'd be...
I have 15 more.
So that's 20.
Um, 20. That's 10, and I'm within striking range, correct?
You can't, you got to keep going around the stairwell.
Yeah, you can't go that way.
Oh,
gotta
I'm sorry. I went the
come up
wrong
that
way.
way.
I'm sorry. Okay, got it. All right, got it. So I will go 5.
What he did, Colin, is he was running up the stairs. He hooked his pole arm up and
Yeah.
swung up around.
Just swung up onto his feet.
Yeah. Like I was an 18-year-old again.
He moonlights as a pole dancer, so he's able to do that type of thing. Yeah.
And let's see here. I am going to let's see here.
Are those gears up in the air?
Yes.
I was gonna say, do I have line of sight or no?
You have line of sight, yes. There is a shaft that travels down through the entire mill house, but the actual gearing you're seeing is about 10 feet above your heads.
Got it. Okay. As I come up these stairs and I kind of see this, again, unofficially feel this sense of evil, my amulet glows under my shirt and gets super hot. And I mumble, as you command, Gath. And all of a sudden, sort of like all throughout, it comes out and shines. It covers my entire body with like a soft little glow. And I'm going to cast Shield of Faith.
Alrighty.
And that's my turn.
Mithras, we know, is dodging Nightingale.
Well, luckily no one was around to watch me just blow sand at him.
Damn it!
It's just dust on my hand. I wasn't really casting a spell.
Well, seeing as he seems to be in the know of where these girls are, it's probably going to be so that's 5, 10, 15, 20. So I can go count 10. I'll kind of book around the. That's taking into account.
Yep, moving through Douglan or around
And
Douglan.
I will try to stab him with my short sword, but I don't want to kill him.
Okay.
And being that there's no allies around, there is no sneak attack, so it's just regular. Oh, thank God. I thought it was going to be a natural 20. You cut his head off. Ah, fuck. Every time I try not to kill somebody, I kill them.
You chop off their leg, Barry.
Oh, yes.
And there you go. You don't have to worry about it.
I think I blunted the point somewhere down the road. I must have dropped the short sword somewhere.
But look at all the blood you put on his token. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe you know, like a nosebleed. It just keeps gushing. Doesn't really hurt that much.
And after kind of feebly stabbing him, which, you know, was his intent, Nightingale will be, you would tell us where these sisters are or I will kill you. Trying to sound little and tougher than he seems.
Corvus.
So
You did hear Douglan yell from above that there's something. I can't remember exactly what you said.
Something has Nightingale spooked. Get up here.
Yes.
So I'm going to go there, and then I'm going to use the dash action to get up the rest of the stairs.
Come on, big guy like you, you're probably taking them 2 at a time.
15. Okay, so that's...
Remember when you were a kid and you climbed
Yeah.
stairs with your hands?
That takes us to Venard the Grim.
Did I get in here just in time to get a fireball in the face?
Yeah.
Venard taking a small stab from Nightingale. He reaches up and he slightly pulls back his hood on his robe. He has this drawn whitish, like it hasn't seen sunlight in centuries. Very drawn. Everything is very pulled back and drawn, and almost skeletal-like. And he looks at Nightingale directly in the eyes, and he says,
We will meet again.
and disappears.
Son.
You guys have no idea how relieved I am right now.
I was gonna say, man.
Here, I was hoping one of you would get up the stairs in time, and I was like, "Ah, shit."
I was in front of you until you jumped around me, to be fair.
I know.
You're a brave little guy, I'm telling you.
I will go check the desk where he was working to see if I can see anything that might help us. Colin? If there's like
All
books.
right. On the desk, there are several books. There is and a ink quill and some ink. Actually, several quills and some ink, just all sitting at the desk here. Looking at the books, one is called Poison Pens, Allegory or Literal Danger. And the second book is called The Gathering Visions of the Necromancer. The third book appears to be blank.
Well, definitely some good reading material for nighttime.
I'll call back to Douglan and say that
I think this man was experimenting on the girls, so I don't see anything here. They must be in the basement.
and I'll like try to.
Go! Don't wait for me. I'll search this room and be right down.
All right. Well, I'll head back down the stairs then. Good for
appears,
cardio.
if he appears back, I'll just screwed myself. But whatever.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 12 a.m., and I think we will put
Yes.
a period on it for tonight.
Good place
Nice.
good place to stop.
Yes,
Yes.
that was scary. I didn't think about it. I just ran and stabbed, thinking I'd be. Then I'm like, I'm like right in his grill, and it's just me.
I'm all up in this creature's grill, whatever it is.
And then
You're
you're like,
not
it pulls
playing
back its head, its skins. I'm like, oh, I just walked up to a lich. That's perfect.
You used to play your dwarf.
Yeah, I forget sometimes that I'm a.
I've got this! Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Only level 2.
Well, for what it's worth, Douglan is growing in admiration for your bravery.
Stupidity,
or
bravery,
stupidity,
it all
whichever
depends-
it is. There's
It all
there's
depends
a very,
how I tell the tale.
Yeah, it's a very thin line between bravery and stupidity.
That was good.